Oh, just remembered or just realized I totally had the wrong title. That's what happens when you're too busy making noodles when you're setting up your stream. Niskus, isn't that music the one from Idle Insights? Yeah, because it's the theme music from the game. Like, it's the default theme music from the game. So, yeah. Hello, Niskus, Monkey House, Idle Duck, Delcoon, Star Chaser, Truepack, Moses, Null Persona. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh yeah, this is my ampersand, rainbow ampersand. And, thank you for the follows. Pentagast, Rasane, Nullzone, Dominican, maybe down. Yeah, it's probably close enough. Doing my best. Doing my best. Hey, bye, Shigeru. Close enough. All right. Look, my name's Garwar. You can imagine how people mispronounce that one on a daily basis. I feel the pain. I try to do my best. So I don't know. I'm coming soon. I don't know what broke there. Did I restart it? I don't know. I think it'll be fine. We're just gonna end this and we're gonna get on with our lives. I think is what's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen. Myth 20, thank you for the follow. The patron reset. Yeah, Death Java, it's patron reset time. Time to grab those time gate pieces if you got them. I gotta do that. Alright, here we go. Which party am I in? I gotta make sure I'm in the right party. Okay, or the correct party. I want this here. Yes. We'll put this here and we'll do something else with that. Okay. We are back in Sword Coast. I did a deep push. I ended up with E30 favor, so now is the time to do a supply run. We're just pushing. We're just pushing. All right, I'm gonna allow that one. I'll allow that one this once. We're just pushing. We don't have, no, we don't have a core that I can save stuff in. All right, let's get in some people here to get this party started. Like Shandy with some speed, and Diana with some speed. And Aliwek with her gems. You know what? That's fine for the moment. That's fine for the moment. We only need to go 150 areas, so we're going to drop like 2 potions of speed and see if that does it. Kester, I've been watching you the last couple days on YouTube on double speed. Sounds so different on 1x. Yeah, I would say so. Oh my god, right, welcome to Idle Champion. No, I don't know that that's how it turns out. That'd be my nightmare. If I woke up with that voice. Kind of new to the game. Where do you put the code? Oh, hold on. I forgot to put the correct code in the bot. Hold on. I always do this. It's Mondays, folks. Mondays always takes a hot second. Aura. Ooh, Blab. Okay, there we go. Now we got a code. If the other one worked, it was just, you just didn't grab it from last week. So we click up here on chests. You control click on the cryptex. This is the cryptex. Control click just the first time, and then every time it opens real fast. So when you need to get more codes, like from the hashtag combinations channel in the Discord, like I'm gonna go do right now, I can just click and it opens quickly, and I can get what the heck? Whoever is fruit salad on the Discord, you copy pasted a different stream's information and then put my stream's name and code on it. That's kind of funny, but maybe don't do that. Maybe it'd work better if you didn't do that. Maybe if you go fix it, people won't get confused. People get confused. Oh, I didn't have that one either. Okay, cool. I had a bunch that I didn't have. Yeah, see, I found some I didn't have. All right. Let me catch up in chat, and then I'm going to eat some noodles and finish building my formation. Hey, KP. Manada, I don't speak Brazilian Portuguese, unfortunately. So I can't help you out with what you're saying. Let me see what. Oh, yeah, Daniel from Brazil. Okay. I have no idea. There we go. Oh, you put it in underneath that. Hey, that works too. Welcome to the game, everybody. Noodles. No, I gotta eat my noodles. I really do. They're gonna get cold, and nobody wants cold noodles. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are cold noodles that are good. These aren't. They're not good when they get cold. Can I spam some information? That's how I'm going to shorten that. Java hit a command for a link to my new player reference. That's probably a good place to start. It's important to remember when you're new, you don't got to go like all in on stuff. You know, you just got to kind of take things step by step and shockingly learn how the game works, right? So you don't necessarily always need like the most optimal situations. I mean, you're going to strive for that over time. But you don't start with that because, you know, you got to learn, right? So that new play reference is meant to kind of slowly walk you through the game. And this playthrough I'm doing on this account is also kind of like a demonstration, I guess. I mean, I'm using those principles, but obviously at a potentially higher level than maybe other people might normally be as a new player, so you shouldn't feel bad. This is a new account. It's 22 days of play. Well, today's the 22nd day of play, I think. Maybe how to farm favor fast starting from 0. That's not a thing. The only way you can farm favor fast starting from 0 is to have an an account with end game power. You know, when you're new, you gotta learn to get it. Doubted Pirate, should I be buying Briv chests only or split them between Briv and Myria to try to get them to epic gear? I think you should be distributing equally amongst champions. That's what I did on this account. Hold on, let me pull this up. Because when you're newer, unless you have like late game bounty contracts and you can like, and you're trying to chase some speed champion Briv, like he's not a speed champion early on. So like on my account, I've got him with 2 blues or 2 purples, 4 blues. That's solid. I don't know that I'm going to try to do anything else with him there. Caddy Bree we got really lucky with, and she just pulled 6 epics. First full epic event champion. Wasn't trying. Beetle and Grim both ended up 4 2s, and that's kind of, oh no, Beetle ended up with a 4-2. Grim ended up with 5 epics and 1 blue. I don't know how he got there. Myria 4 epics, 2 blues. So like if I were gonna go anywhere, I don't know that I need to come back to Briv. He's got his health item, which is the one I care about on him. Like using him as a tank right now in the early game and into the mid game. That's what he's going to be for me. I'd have to look at what item levels on. 118 on Myria. Beetle and Grim are fine in the 89 to 94 range because I'm only ever going to use them together and then they'll give themselves a boost. Caddy Breeze at 100. Briv's at 104. I mean, Briv has item levels. He just doesn't have epics. So I don't know. We'll see. But keeping them, I try to keep them not necessarily close in the epics, because epics are random. After your first one, everything else after that is pretty random. But in item levels, so that the power is, you know, as close to equivalent as I can get it. Okay, I missed some thank yous. Hold on. Do need you, Osmotic, B Waters, Metaphysica, Mono. Thank you for the follows. And we're in an ad break. Oh, you probably missed me saying that, but ad break means noodles. Ad break means noodles. Okay, we're back. I'm stuffing my face with noodles. Kester just came back to the game. I've unlocked the Urge and Briv. Limited time left. What would you focus on? Urge, Briv, or Grim and Beetle Chess? I mean, doing at least tier 1 for each of them is great, but remember, something that you may not know after coming back is that there's a thing called multi-tier, which affects it. It allows you to go. Hold on. Let me come out here. They're gonna show it. It shows you that there's multiple tier goals, and so like if you're new, tier 1 is that's really all you're aiming for. I was able, because this had because I started off with the 3x choose your champion pack, and then we had the epic giveaway on this account. I've got enough power that I can easily clear tier 2 as well. But just trying to get tier 1 for each of them is usually pretty quick to do, and do that for, you know, clear tier 1, the tier 1 goals for all the champions you've unlocked, and then again and then open the, you know, gear them up efficiently, and that means like start with Electrum chests, to try to get everybody to green or better, and then, you know, buy chests. Try to get green or better before opening gold chests is kind of the goal, but you may not have enough time to get there before the event is over. So buying packs will get you silvers, and then you can open the silvers first and then open the golds once you're green or better or close enough. That's just kind of efficient. It'll make sure that you get to that, you know, 5 blue, 1 purple kind of starting setup, which is just kind of the base place where people usually begin their journeys. Yeah, so just kind of, you know, it's semi-equal distribution, probably fine. And yeah, for those of you diving into the new player guide, you don't have to read the whole thing right away. Just, it's broken up into milestones. So, you know, start at milestone 1 and read through, and there's some links to other guides that are, you know, recommended reading, kind of the basic information that you got to learn when you're starting the game. And if you want something specifically for this event, like at the top of that guide, there should be a link to all of my guides. It says over 180 guides, because I've got like 188 guides on the subreddit. And if you go there and scroll down, there will be an event list, and you find Festival of Fools. Click on that guide. There's a bit more detailed information about what, you know, things you can do in this event before it's done here. And like, you know, we got 2 days left, but that's still a good amount of time. Hey, Zellist. Yeah, Herb, good. Yeah, I got the same box. You know what? Hold on. Is it the Thayan Enclave? It's this. It's an emergence event. So next emergence event in 2 days. 2 days, 0 hours, 42 minutes. Oh, that's probably wrong, but yeah, it should be. It's a little off in there. So that's what this is. There's an emergence event coming. So when this event ends, we'll have an emergence event, which will be interesting. It's nothing. It's not a lot of work. It's super easy. But it's how you get a lot of corrupted gems. Jumping Keck, is there a difference which blacksmith contracts can drop between silver and gold chests? Yeah. Silver chests drop things of white, blue, green, and blue rarity. Gold chests drop things of green, blue, and purple rarity. Generally speaking. So yeah, you're gonna get like white and green, mostly blacksmithing contracts out of silvers. Mostly green and blues out of golds. And then, you know, silvers can drop a blue, golds can drop a purple. I think its bounty contracts really only come from golds, though. Which is why I just tell people just buy gold chests. Start of this week, any tips? Hit up that new player reference. There's my big tip. And if you have specific questions about like something you're trying to do, or you know, that's helpful. But when it's like general stuff, oof, there's so much in this game. There's so much going on in this game. So it helps if we narrow the focus down a little bit to like something that you're like one specific thing you're trying to do. I guess it like general tips. General tips, sir. Always make sure you're spending your gems and buying chests. Chests are power. Familiars are great quality of life, but if you save up forever on a familiar, you're basically slowing down your progress in the game, making it more difficult for yourself in the meantime, when you could have just been opening chests and then earning gems faster. And that tends to be what we want to do. We tend to want to earn gems as quickly as we can. Quickly as we can. All right, let me. I need to save. This is speed. Sure, my speed formation. Bucho, thank you for 6 months with Prime. Appreciated. Oh, I also have a big stretch I haven't got to in chat yet. Null Persona says the Dark Urge is great for new players. They can go into any mission regardless of restrictions. I would argue Karlach, if you got her, is better, but you know, if you didn't get Karlach, if you just unlocked the Dark Urge, that's fine. Dark Urge is like once you start doing variants, that's where the Dark Urge becomes more useful. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to do that right away. How to get Briv to 9 jump? Gem farm. I'm working on 9 jump right now. It's just lots and lots of gem farming on my main account. Gem farming. I've got a gem farming 101 guide to get you started off there. It's just gem farming. Yeah. How do you get the Dark Urge? He's available as a champion to flex, like from one of these slots in the event. He's down here. If you have a flex slot available still. I did not choose him because he was given in the giveaway. This is an Epic account. I wouldn't have chosen him anyway. I don't think he's a new player champion or even an early game champion. I think he starts to be useful in the mid game. That's my opinion. Take it however you want. New players need to do a few variants, sure, but it's literally just a couple. Here's the thing. I've done 2 on Mert. I've done 1 on Vajra. I do need to do at least I do need to do a couple more. But I you know, if that ends up needing, I will be, you know, it's fine if that ends up needing the Dark Urge. I don't think it will. Here's my time piece. I do have, you don't really need a lot of influence until you unlock your Modron core. I do need more to get down here and buy my Modron component chest. That is something that does need to be worked on this week. But I am racing through this game. faster than normal. So I would argue that new players don't really need that much help. Is buying silver or gold chest better? What's the difference? So silver is only when you're brand new and you have no gear on your champions. And you buy silvers until your gear is all green rarity or better on those starting 12 like core champions. Then it's golds. Then it's golds for the rest of the game. Like for the rest of the game. Okay, so this is important, folks. I want to point out if you are doing Sword Coast stuff, I only did Sword Coast up to Underdeep Cartography and Overdue Rendezvous, and then I left and I went and did Tomb of Annihilation, all of it, and then I did some of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and we'll go back there in a bit. But I've come back here now to do some Sword Coast because I need to prep for unlocking Strahd von Zarevich, the patron. So I did this, but after supply run, you're given 2 paths. Like there's an up arrow and a down arrow. The down arrow is the hard. I know it says easy, but it is a more difficult path. Note the area completion just jumped to 300, and we were just at 150. It's a later. It's after you do all the stuff up, then you go down. Crazy. So we're coming up here. This takes us to the Mists of Ravenloft. Mists of Ravenloft will unlock Barovia for us. Completion area is 200. That's what we're doing next. Okay. Let me just get everybody loaded in and leveled up. Throw some speed down. I'll get back to questions from chat. I'm a little behind. I'm always a little behind because there's lots of questions, but that's good. Questions are good things. I will get to them all. I just want to make sure I'm answering them completely. Okay. 200. You know what? We're going to try 2 of these again. See how that works out for us. Desi Razor, thank you for the follow. Okay. Dragon Kendra used to play this game ages ago. I'm sad that I can't recall my old account info with all the heroes I used to have. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't even know how to do that. You'd have to find the like the email address that it was going to. If you signed up for the newsletter, you'd have lots of newsletters. You didn't delete them. That would at least get you the email address, and you could go from there. Check all your emails. Carlock is dope so far. Carlock is bae. She's amazing. I love her on a new game account. I'm not using this. I specifically chose to try Ishii as starting this account, and I'm enjoying it. But Carlock smashes. Carlock absolutely smashes. Bog Piscolo, returning player here. Welcome back. What are the most notable or important champions to focus on since last December? Oh, good lord. I don't know. Hold on. I don't keep things in a time-based storage in my head. Hold on. Let me go. So just December 2024. So December would have been Halsin. He's solid for good formations. He only buffs good champions. Eric the Cavalier came out, and he is like, this is a new champions. He is an amazing gold find champion, like best in his slot. Calyx, the Thrycrane, that's right here. He came out. He has a speed spec that I'm using right now. He has he's an anti-tank instead of like Turiel or Gale in seat 1. He's an anti-tank in 5. So you're gonna have 2 anti-tanks in a formation. And then Volo came out. He's real strong. He's over here. That hack. But he's real strong in the game. I'm plural has a question about dismantling. I think I caught it just out of my corner of my eye when I realized I need to eat noodles. Is there a downside to you dismantling Beetle right now for the blacksmith contracts to put it on a champion to use more? If you're brand new, don't. It's not worth it. Don't dismantle. Dismantle isn't for you when you're brand new. Dismantling is for established players who have invested in a champion. And originally the idea is if you don't like the rework on that champion, you just pull your investment off of it, put it on someone else. There is an edge case scenario when you're heavily invested in a champion, you can pull it off and dump it onto your Briv to try to make them a better gem farmer. But when you're new, the item levels you're getting off that aren't going to help. Like, unless you spent like a ton of money on Beetle, but if you spent a ton on it, then why didn't you just spend that money on somebody else? Like, it just doesn't make any sense as a new player. I feel like it's one of those things that shouldn't even be offered if a champion is like under a certain, I don't know. Like if a champion isn't like full epic with a certain number of item levels, I feel like it doesn't, it shouldn't even be offered because it just confuses people. It's just, you're just not getting, you're most likely as a new player, even if you were getting like 20 or 30 average item levels off of it, like it's better to have that on a champion and have them available if you need them at that power level than to move it to somebody else. I just don't find a value in that. Do what you want. You've got the information now. Make your own decision. Royalty, should we be trying to get to a certain point in the main campaign before trying to get tier 2 event variants? It's not about like a point in the campaign as much as it is about power. Like you need a certain amount of power to do tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4. Like tier 1 is brand new player power. Tier 2 is early game power. Tier 3 is mid game power. Tier 4 is late game power. Doesn't mean you have to be in those areas. Like I guess I'm in the early game, but we absolutely smashed tier 2 even when I was a brand new player, because of the power that came from a purchase, right? And then we got a giveaway, so now we were actually completing some tier 3 stuff, but we're not anywhere near the mid game, really. I mean, we're approaching it, but power-wise, we're there. So it's not about necessary progress as the ability to measure your power. You were on Congregate Dragon Kinder? Okay. Man, I don't think they can, like, A, it isn't there anymore. That's why you can't find it. And B, I'm not sure, like, you'd need to almost start a new account. The Epic giveaway still going on? I don't know that it is. You need to start a new account on the platform, on like a PC platform of your choice, and then submit a ticket and see if they could find your data and apply it to the new account. I don't know if they can do that anymore, but it's worth it. It's worth a polite ask. I have all of the Evergreen champs, all full epic, but low level. Do I need to open Dragon Bait or just skip? I need a second for that one. Hold on. Mia Host, thank you for the follow. Let me finish my noodles while I process that question. Okay. Okay. I need that napkin still. So, Metaphysic, I have all of the Evergreen champs at full epic, but do I need to open Dragonbait? So, first off, do you mean these? Or do you mean, like, I feel like if you don't, like, I don't know. I don't know. So these are your core 12 champions. And I know that CNE has made things confusing at times by trying to call them something else. But look, they literally put the filter in for core. The problem is when you click Evergreen, they also include them over here, and it confuses people. These are your core 12 champions. Now, there are Evergreen champions. If we go, let's see, we're going to go all, and we're going to go to Evergreens. You can see there's a lot of Evergreen champions, and that's these alternate swaps. That's like Hitch from the newsletter, Dritz and Sword Coast, Dragonbait and Azaka from Tomb Annihilation. Like, do you need to open Dragonbait? I think you mean, do you need to unlock Dragonbait? Absolutely. Dragonbait's great. But generally speaking, you want to be chasing Evergreens as you get to their campaigns. You move campaign by campaign, and you kind of chase the Evergreens. You chase like the blessings and the Evergreens in those campaigns, because that's progress. But that's kind of a way to measure your progress. It also helps you, like, step you through the game, because as you're moving campaign to campaign, that's how they were released in the game, and that's how the difficulty level goes up. So yeah, I mean, yes. This game is like, if you think Pokemon, got to catch them all. Like, the whole point is to get all the champions. Like, that's how you. Well, I shouldn't say the whole point. But one of the ways that you are able to complete content is by getting all of the champions and gearing them up. Holgar, any tips on how to automate the first background party? If MSF's just jumping between two parties constantly is maybe not the best way to do it. So you're not, like, until you get as odd as it sounds, until you get a second Modron core, which usually requires the third party from Split the Party 2, you're not going to really automate the background. You're going to want your core in the active party. You're going to want your core in your active party, and that's so that you can level it up. That's how my modest core ended up at 4. Is we started off in the active party, then I did Split the Party 2, and now I'm focusing on my fast core because it's the primary important one. You just can't get it until after you've already gotten this. So now I relegate this one over here, and if we come over here, here's what I like to do. You do whatever you want to do, but I like to do a minimal setup in my background party. I have patrons available, so I like to throw a patron at it. I like to activate a patron, and I go to Mad Wizard. And then what I do is I've saved formations here. That's not the one I want, though. Okay. Don't do that. I'm gonna have to make another one. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to save a formation here with a familiar out here and a familiar on click damage. I'm going to save this as this Brunar farm. And then I'm going to activate that over here in this, right? And I'm going to set I've got enough favor here that 50 is an easy goal for me to click through. And that's it. I'm not even going to try to level up Brunar, because I'm not killing with Brunar. I'm killing with this familiar on the field and the click damage he's getting from this familiar over here. So this is a way to kind of sacrifice 2 familiars from your main party. It's worth it. Sacrifice 2 familiars from your main party into a background party for automation, because now my background party is going to earn some gems. It's not going to be amazing, but early on you take as much as you can get. Like, really, any way you can make some more gems is a good thing. And then my active party is going to be fine. I can manually level stuff up if I don't have enough familiars, right? Like, I can take a familiar over here. I can put it over here now instead of having that extra one, right? I can do whatever I want. because this is the one I'm manually playing, right? And then it'll sit back there and it'll cycle, it'll earn gems. And because it's in a patron, it's also going to earn patron currency. It'll be doing his challenges. See, we're completing some areas. We're killing some fiends. Well, no, that's not going to count. We'll kill some humanoids back there as well. We'll get the gems from boss loot bags. So we'll get a lot of these for free. In fact, the currency that I have with him right now, these ruby coins, I only did 2 patron variants just to get influence, and then all the rest of this currency came from just that kind of either background or overnight kind of AFK farming. Same thing with Vajra. I did 1 variant for influence, and then all the rest of this came from AFK background party farming or overnight farming. So you don't have to sacrifice a lot. You just, I use Brunor. I don't, because he's going to auto load like a seat 1. It can be any seat 1 champion. It's just they're going to auto load in at level 1 when you save it that way. And the familiars are actually going to be doing the work. Now, if I wanted to get hyper optimal, I could be running a whole other thing of content back here. I could be doing a whole other thing of content over here. I could be completing other adventures in other places. Personally, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to race like that. But it's doable, right? Obsidian Rider and Elitist Madman, thank you for the follows. How did I place familiars without opening the familiar screen? Hold F and click. You can place and make it go away. And if you click on the red box down here, it makes them all go away. James Verbal, I'm a new player. Welcome to the game. I didn't understand how the familiars worked, but now I saw it in your stream. Thanks for that. You're welcome. Yeah, they're clickers. They're the automation. They're click automation. There's 2 kinds of automation. One is the familiars, and the other is a Modron core, like that's kind of set a formation you've saved, and but it can't, like, if you could set a formation like with a full party, but if you don't have familiars on each of those champions to level them up, it's not going to load. It's not going to do anything, right? So the familiars click things, and the Modrons manage resets, which are really resets are more for gem farming. But loading the party in is super nice. It saves your spec choices and your familiar placement and all that kind of stuff. I don't have. I've got to get to level 3 on this core to unlock automation on the fast core. We're trying to get there. 4,500 hours on PC, and I never knew about holding F. There's nothing in the game that would tell you, to be fair. And so that's a lot of this game is there's nothing in the game that would have told you, so don't feel bad about it. We are going faster than I thought. I maybe should have just done 15 minutes and a 5-minute potion. That's good to know. Our speed in this formation has gone up. We picked up Shandy and Deacon, and so our speed is faster than it was. Got to get used to that. Why does my Karlach seem to do low damage? Oh, we'll get back to that. Ad break. Ad break. Yep. Munchies time. Welcome back. Okay. Doubted Pyro. Why does my Karlach seem to do low damage? E90 damage compared to 120 on a formation with Astarion, Artemis, and the Dark Urge. I don't know. I don't know if you're using them right. I have no idea who else you're using in the formation. I mean, so Karlach's real straightforward. She wants to be in her left-hand spec, the Berserk one. And she needs to actually have a chance to build up her rage. Otherwise, you're not actually seeing her damage. And you only see that damage when you get close to your wall. With her ultimate going, so she can get 100 stacks of rage, and that's where her power comes from. So if you're at a lower number, you're not gonna realize that, but you're not gonna need it until you need it, and then it shows up. If that makes sense. So here we finished this, and you'll notice there's nothing popped up here, but down here in the bottom right, more adventures available here. Barovia, we're going to a whole new place. Here we are, in the mists. Family entanglements, also area 200. So we'll try that single 15-minute potion with a 5-minute potion this time. Let's see if that works out for us. Need to fix that. All right, let's get the other speed champions going. I want to get my speed effects going as soon as possible, basically. And then before we get to the boss level, I want to make sure Aliwick can pick up her gems. There we go. Now we get scavengers in. And then damage. Damage and supports. I need more speed champions. I need more speed champions. The slow process. Okay, yeah, but yeah, Karlach's really straightforward. She doesn't need a whole lot. She just needs to make sure you're building a formation that works for her. And that doesn't mean putting her in the front row. I know she says tank, but when she's your damage dealer, you place her somewhere else. She's gonna work. She works good with Astarion, but Astarion doesn't buff her damage. I mean, Astarion's buffs work on her, but like putting in people with tadpoles don't work for her because that doesn't buff her damage like it does for like the Dark Urge. And you wouldn't want Dark Urge in a formation or Artemis in a formation with Karlach. So some people are like, with the way this pack came out, and I tried to explain this when the pack came out. We did a tutorial show on it. You choose which of those three you want to be your damage dealers, and then you use that. But you don't put the other two in your formation. Because, like, well, you could use technically Artemis and with Karlach supporting, but you can't. But using the Dark Urge with Artemis doesn't make any sense because the Dark Urge isn't providing anything for Artemis. I don't know. Just pick the one you want to use and go with it. You know, whatever you're enjoying. Should I use Deacon or Human? I have Briv already. I mean, Human's a longer term pick. Like, they're nice, but they're not going to have their speed really on right away. Deacon has speed right away, but also when you're newer, you want to make sure you're trying to get like what I did here. Oh, the heck! Oh, there we go. I shot first for making sure I had 2 champions in every bench seat, and then my second goal was 3 champions in every bench seat, and I was only inefficient by 2 champions. That's wonderful. That's the best I've ever hit it. After this, you can start just grabbing for speed. But you know, getting to split the party 2 is a quick goal. So whichever one, like, is Human going to help get you there, or is Deacon going to help get you there, or are they both going to help get you there? Then you know, keep them both in mind, but pick one. Deacon's speed will kick in right away. Human's will not. You gotta invest item levels in him. I would totally take a Human right now. But I needed a seat 1, so I chose Deacon first. But Human's definitely on my list of Hi, I would like another speed champion, and Human's probably next on the. Well, Human or Whittle. It was probably Human. I've already. Deacon's effect does kind of Whittle stuff, so I'd probably go next if I were making a choice. And I've got 8 time gate pieces, so I get to make a choice soon. Oh my god. You got the perfect 2 in, 2 out directed cross. Nice stuff. Yeah, but Shakira, I don't know that they're a gem farmer yet, so I don't know that that matters. Again, you gotta give advice based on where people are. I feel like if you're coming here and asking these kind of questions, I don't feel like you're a mid-game gem farmer. But I could be wrong. Who would you recommend to get as a 4th character in seat 1? I already have Bruner, Galen, or Kira. Oh, I mean, I like Deacon. I guess it depends on what you're trying to do, Spike Girl. Like if you just, you know, like, so Deacon is just for straight up easy speed everywhere, always on with nothing. There's another speed champion in this seat named Thalora, and Thalora is better for gem farming. Her speed effect only kicks in places where you have a lot of favor already, because the amount of favor you have is how many areas she skips at the start of an adventure. And then she has no more speed for you in that adventure, which is why I personally favor Deacon, because he's going to work for a longer period of time. Like, I don't know. For what I'm trying to do, I want a Deacon. But if you don't care about speed and you just want like more utility out of your seat 1, Esmeralda would be a good choice. She's a breaker, which means she can help you chew through armor and segmented health stuff faster. Hey, Jules. Desi Rezer just started playing yesterday. I'm so lost. Hit up that new player reference that got linked in chat. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. Hey, Sargoto. Trying to catch up in chat here. Hello, Jiminani. You spoke about it a couple minutes ago about how you feel about Ishii. I think she's great. Do I think she's like the most powerful DPS champion in the game? No, but she has a unique characteristic, which is what we're focusing on here, and that's that she has the ability to feed herself item levels. Something broke over the weekend. She wasn't doing that. Huh. Interesting. Something broke in my AFK farm. I'll have to figure that out. But basically, she can feed herself 5 average item levels a day. That's how we got up to 180. I haven't invested any blacksmithing contracts in her. She's invested into herself. So I really like the efficiency that provides when you're new. Like I was investing my contracts into Diana and Eliwick instead, which has allowed me to kind of rush them up to much higher levels than I normally would have, while still having lots of damage from Ishii. I like that, but you know, if you just wanted to smash like Carlock smash, right? And then she scales well into the late game. She needs some specific groups and formations, but yeah, I think she's neat. Why we're using her. Yeah, well, I mean, the epic giveaway gave Carlock, full epics, 3 shinies, and like 400 and something item levels. So of course she's gonna outdo my Ishii right now. But how do I stop the animation of familiars? So under settings, under graphics, there is a disable flashing lighting effects. So you turn that off, because the bottom thing on the list there is the animations on familiars. Okay, so we're at 100. I'm gonna take 2 of these. I'm gonna take 2 5-minute potions. Okay, good to know. Trying to be efficient with my potion usage. Kind of chips it. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the munchies. When I buy like chips to snack on, I get like a big bulk box of the little packages and like store them in a storage thing, and then I just, that way it's like a serving size, and I'm not like trying to eat out of bags and eating too much or whatever. Yeah. Oops. Clicked on the wrong thing because I wasn't paying attention. All right. I didn't promise that we were going someplace new that it would be nice. I said we were going to Barovia. One of the most important heroes people should have unlocked. I'm considering buying the Pick Your Champ pack. Like if for the 3x choose your champion pack, Eliwick, top of the list, Diana for a new player, right behind that. Who you do for your DPS, I think DPS is a good choice, but if you got like a strong DPS with this giveaway pack, then I would go like with the epic giveaway, then I would go Shandy. If you already have a DPS you like, then Shandy for speed. Now if it's just if you're just getting the 1x pick one champion, Eliwick. If you don't have Eliwick, you need to get Eliwick. Eliwick's Deck of Many Things ability does 3 things that are in one. And the one that's amazing is that it gives you more gems. It has the chance to give you more gems off of bosses. Along with that, as you scale it up, it's also going to have the potential to scale up your gold find, which is great. Don't let people tell you that gold find isn't important when you're new. It absolutely is. It's the big stick you kill things with when you're new. So the more you can get of it when you're new, the further you can go, and the more that snowballs your power. It's great. But then it also just buffs her buff. So it's kind of a triple threat. It's got a bit of a triple threat ability that's nice. But yeah, I started this with the 3x Choose Your Champion pack. I chose Ishii because I wanted to test out how good Ishii would be as a brand new player with this whole, feeding yourself item levels. And early on, it wasn't as great as I had hoped for reasons. But now that I've got a Modron core and she's automating overnight, usually she's just feeding herself tons of item levels. I don't know what happened over the weekend. I think there was a glitch on the servers and she stopped. What are your thoughts about familiars with click damage? They can do it? I don't know what that question is. Dragon Kendra, I'm gonna need more context. Pendergast, thank you for your Prime sub, much appreciated. Also, Classic 2, thank you for the follow. I think I missed that because it was during an ad break. Yeah, I've been uploading this run to YouTube, so I think there's an episode going up a day. We're a little behind. I mean, you get the live stuff here, and then everything else is behind. Although I think I have it set that members get everything right away, and then non-members see it later. That's what I set up. Yeah. Yeah, I was not really planning this account around these giveaways. We ended up with like 5 champions off Epic, and then Cass. It was wild. And then there was a Feast of the Giants that fed us time gate pieces that let me, run a time gate. Like it's, I got really good luck this time around. I'm not sure why this got pulled, Zealous. So with Thalora, you said with Thalora, I don't like that you have to keep pushing with her in order to use her. Like I can't use her to jump and swap to a better speed champion. Right, but that's the same with Briv, right? When you get these huge efficiency speed champions, they're going to make you keep them around to earn that efficiency again. They're not just going to give you that efficiency all the time. New player experience. Here's 160 guides for champions. Have fun. Well, it's 148 for champions. And then another 40 for other stuff. Which is why I have the new player reference. So it just slowly feeds drip Drip, drip, drip knowledge. That's the idea. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Jelly beans are my weakness. I need to subdivide them into little snack bags or else. Ah, that's smart. I mean, yeah. Or even better, get those little Tupperware containers and just fill it, because then you can reuse those over and just wash them. I feel like most people don't reuse their snack bags. I'm big on trying to reuse stuff, but obviously I can't reuse it. I just shove this in my mouth and then I throw the bag away. Solid ring. As a new player, I had Ishi's my main DPS for 2 months until the epic giveaway, and she was great. No. In my opinion, the key is having some kind of base attack cooldown reduction to help her build her faster, harder, stronger stacks more effectively. Yeah, that's more that's a goal. I don't think it matters early, but it is on the list. It is on the to-do list for this account, is to pick up the champions that are going to max that out. Specifically, I'll be shooting for Whittle and Alindra as a combo pack for her. They'll put her at max reduction once we get a little investment in them. And yeah. But I have more than enough power right now to complete the content that I need to do, so I'm not worried about maxing those stacks right now, but ultimately that is kind of how you eke every last bit of power out of her. All right, there we go. Anybody have a good guide for mid to late game favor pushing? I mean, I have a favor guide, and it outlines the 3 current methods to earn favor in the game. So it's got Makos bombing, it's got Azaka farming, and it's got dirty gold farming, which is the one that I personally prefer and recommend. And the guide will explain those concepts. But yeah, ultimately, whatever you're doing, it comes down to get lots of champions that have really good gold find, and that's why people are telling Get Mahen. He's got really good gold find, but he's not the only one, right? So they're not really helping a whole lot, are they? Yeah, Mahen is in the next event, yeah. So it'll be great to pick up if you can get him for free. No, he's blocked on time gates. If he's in the next event, he's probably blocked on time gates already, but Aramuris, thank you for the follow. Oh, I forgot to. How far are we going on this one? 200 again. All right, so we're just going to go ahead, and this time I know it's one of these and 2 of these that gets us through as quickly as possible. Well, not as quickly as possible, but as efficiently as possible, I'd say. I don't like to waste time on speed potions. Speed potions are the thing that I don't know. I use the most, and I'm probably gonna, since I'm running out of these, I'm gonna have to, and I'm out of these, I'm gonna have to break down some of these others via the apothecary. So let's see, I don't need this many of these. Let's take it down to 10. I also don't need that many of those. Take that down to 10. Ooh, gold find. Maybe we get rid of like 25 of these. We got a bunch. And maybe 12 of these. I don't want to, those are ones that I'll actually use. We'll get rid of some of these. The thing is we're gonna keep earning gems. We're earning them faster with speed potions. So, we can get rid of some of these others, because when we open the chests, those gems buy, we're gonna refill. We're gonna refill. So this got me about 1790, what, about 1800 reagents. Now I can come over here and I can go to speed bonus and I can go give me like 10 of these. Oh, that was way too many. Give me like 10 of these. And then give me like 5 of these. And we'll probably be good for a while. And I've got a bunch of reagents banked. The apothecary system is great for potion efficiency early on, which basically just means it's great for making more speed potions, because those are the ones I care about the most. Early on, that's what I care about the most. I used to do that. I would buy several bags of Starburst jelly beans, which are only available at Easter, and separate the flavors into different containers. Yeah, man, we were talking about this. The Starburst Fave Reds jelly beans. But yeah, those are usually only available around Easter, and I guess I'll check. Maybe if I remember, I'll check at the store tonight. I didn't go shopping normally I should go shopping on Sunday nights, but Easter, so I'm gonna go tonight, and maybe they'll have some discounted Easter candy. All I really care about is if they have Fave Reds or Reese's eggs. Got all your tier 4s done except for the delicious diversions for Briv. That one, I really think Cass is the key to that one. Like a Cass and Desmond party. Because Cass can make everybody dead so that Desmond gets his buff, plus his escorts, plus his dead people buff. So, maybe aim for, that kind of stuff. How often are events added? Once a month. It's the first Wednesday of every month, and then they last for 3 weeks. It's very stable now. It used to be once every 3 weeks, and that threw everything off. But now it's once a month. Starts on the first Wednesday, lasts for 3 weeks. The weeks in between, like this Wednesday, in 2 days, we're gonna get the event's gonna end, and we'll get a content drop, which will be like story adventures or variants or something. Friday will be a natural time gate. So you can get a champion for free, one of 3 offered up champions for free. And the next Wednesday will be another content drop. And the next Friday, another time gate. And then the Wednesday after that is going to start the next event. So we get a couple weeks off for new content. But new content is usually, higher level stuff. So it doesn't really affect newer players. Like it's not going to change what I do in this account. But the free time gates will take. Right. I've got thousands of potions. Can you just change them to speed? I mean, yeah, now. You break them down like I just did, and with the apothecary, you break them down through distilling, and then you brew the speed potions you want. There's also now legendary potions of speed, but I don't know. They've got use case scenarios, but not early game. I don't feel like. I guess we could. Yes, because of the way they work, I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit of a waste right now. This account, but technically, I've got 6 legendary vessels. I could make 6 of them maybe, but I don't know if they're worth it. Yeah, there's a good amount of loss in the translation, but when you don't care about the others and all you care about is speed, it's fine. And yeah, I do have Sheila's scavenging, but she does not. Like we're only at 2100 out of 6500. And I started the account with her, so her drop rate is bad. Or actually, it's not even the drop rate. It's the amount you get when they drop is too low, in my opinion. But whatever. I don't know how long it's going to take before we cap her out. But like Diana's almost probably is capped on Electrum. I'm capped. I get no more Electrums. So Diana, we got to had Diana at the same time. She's already capped. Great. Yeah, we might have an emergence event right now, and who knows, maybe we'll get a vault after it ends. But who knows? Okay, what are we at gem-wise? 6,900. I think this is... We're doing regular campaign stuff again, so it's time to start saving up. I'm at the point now where I think we can... We're going to have to save for 50k gem feeds. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm not going to buy any chests today. And we'll see how many gems I end up with at the end of the day. Because with the event ending, we'll just be doing regular campaign stuff, so we'll be generating a lot of gems. Gets me every time. Those are night cards. All right. All right. Oh, I need to see what else I need for Strahd. I need 10 medium bounties and 20 silver chests. Okay. Okay. How many bounties do I have? 2. So I can't use it. Well, we're at the end of event, so I wouldn't be using these anyway, but we have 2. I need 10. All right. These I will spend, though. All of the blacksmithing contracts right now, currently, are going to go on to Allywick, just to try to max the gems out. That's fine. Chests, we will loot silvers, so that's totally cool. When we loot gold, I'll open. Hey, what do you know? There's an epic we needed. We were at the pity timer. Yeah, that works. But that means our Corver Green epics needed is going to sit paused for a while while we try to save up. And what am I going to save up for? Good question. I really need this, but this comes from gem chest, from a gold chest. I really want this, but it's not available yet. So I think what we're doing is quickly now. 50,000 gem feet for Diana, which should max out our speed effect on her. Yeah. Which campaign do we need to go through with Strahd? This is it. It's the Barovian arc. Just the arc. It's not a whole campaign. The Barovian arc of Sword Coast. Do Solar and Bribs jumps bypass Dobbs offshore accounting? Yeah. Because if you're not sitting on a level completing it, he doesn't grab gold during it. You know what I mean? Like the levels. Levels aren't going to help you. Probably have to get some chests from a bounty contract. Oh, I know that. But I can't. I think I'm still 2 champions away from Strahd. So should have some time. How was the solo stream? It was fine. We forgot they forgot to set up an in-game pop-up, so there weren't a ton of people there, so it was chill. By the time you say 50k, the Eliwick gem fee might be available. Should be becoming purchasable with gems with this emergence. It should be after this emergence. So it should be like 11 days from now. I'm not going to wait that long. If it's before that, okay, but it should be after. But it depends. I mean, you got to count it out. It's supposed to be 90 days. And so, you know, whatever that works out to be, but it's fine. If it becomes available, great. If not, that's fine. I've got a plan. What's an emergence? So an emergence event is it's basically a delivery system for corrupted gems for the Saiyan Enclave, right? For this shop. It's what provides you lots and lots of these. And it's basically a super easy kind of, I think it's a fairly passive thing to pick up. Basically, there's a certain enemy type that will be emerging into all free plays. And so when you're doing a free play, you kill them and they drop corrupted gems slowly, kind of like event tokens. There's a certain amount, like the amount you can get goes up slowly over time. And so if you're at the cap for the current time, you just got to wait some more and they'll slowly drop more. So you get like 9 days to collect a bunch of corrupted gems that drop off champions. And then each of those days, there's a quest that rewards you a lot of corrupted gems. The amount that are dropped is also the amount of total that you could get from quests. So you want to do both things. And the quests are literally just go kill the enemies that are emerging, which you'd be doing anyway, right? But it just requires that you do like some free plays, or like a free play a day, to farm a bit. And you can kill enemies that occur naturally in adventures, but it's like I trying to hunt those down and then do like you know. If it happens while you're playing, great. Otherwise, just a free play. A good free play a day and you're fine. All right. Here we go. Here I go again on my own. That's not what we're doing. Okay. Beacon, give me that speed. There we go. All right. I mean, specifically, which variant do we need to run? It's not a variant. It's literally just the storyline. Just have to complete the Barovian story arc. The adventure is called Towering Expectations, and it's literally just a basic story. It's not a variant. They're guides specifically for champions whose abilities conflict or undermine each other. No. You're welcome to make one. I would never do that. I mean, each This is the thing. I have a guide for each champion, and if you read each champion and understand each champion, then didn't you know that? I don't know. Yeah, I personally wouldn't waste time on a guide like that. That's a ton of work. Like every time a new champion's in the game, you now have to compare that new champion to 148 other champions, or to every other champion, and try to figure out if now that's more on that list. Yeah, wouldn't be something I would ever do. That's too much work for very little, what I feel like, reward. Like I don't think there's a lot of usage for that, but yeah. Besides the pigments, are any of the current items featuring the merchant shop recommended buys? Oof, probably not. These aren't. Xerophon does not need that. He does not need health. I mean, he needs health, but he needs like base health. An item doesn't help. The skins are cool. I bought them on my main account, but I'm not going to recommend them to anybody. These feats, no. I mean, there's an argument that this one is, but it's really for patrons. And again, in like after this event, 90 days later, it will be available for gems. So, you know, do you want to buy it now for corrupted gems, or do you want to buy it later for green gems? And this, you know, there's an argument that, you know, you might want to pick this up if you're a cast main, like if they're your primary DPS. It's a lot of damage, but again, yeah. And never buy the chests. Never buy the chests. Notice Calyx is a range tank while holding a two-headed spear. Yes. They throw throwing stars. Right here. They've got a little throwing star in their left hand and they chuck it. They just happen to have a two-headed spear in case people get close. Call it, the throwing star is called a Chatkcha. And the two-headed spear is called a Githka. What can I do with the event penance besides buy beetle chests? You could buy grim chests or whoever else you got in the event. That's how it works. Like here, I've got two more I can buy. So you come over here to chests. I don't care about chasing his epic. I mean, you can come over here and you can look. Like he's 7 down here. This purple bar at the bottom tells us how many chests I need to get to his like gold chest to get an epic for him. That's too far away. I don't care. Miria's too far away. Beetle's too far away. Caddy Bree's full epic, so I don't care. So Briv's full epic. So ultimately, I'm probably just going to throw them on Briv. Because I don't really need them anywhere else. And like all the epics here is going to make Caddy Bree strong. Even though Briv's at 104, like has more item levels, he doesn't have the multipliers, so he could use some more. The way Beetle and Grim work is they share their like their average item level with each other. So when they're in a party together, they go up way above this. So I don't need to give them more power. And Miria's got 118, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna put these on Briv. But this is really just me trying to make him a better tank. He's not going to be a speed champion for me right now. For a while. For a while. Oh, I forgot to put the potions on. Why? Why? Why do you do this? I'm concerned about the arm, like the Calyx's arm is doing nothing. I mean, just because it doesn't have something in its hand doesn't mean it's not ready to do something. Like that's the one, if people get up close, you can just grab someone with and they're not expecting it because you've got hands that are busy. And then suddenly one sucker punches you in the gut or grabs you around the throat or who knows, or maybe picks your pocket. Oh. How do I select other champions? Like, I need the time beat currency. You mean unlock other champions? But you get them from events. So like if you're trying to unlock like these 2 flex slots, you need like 3 time gate pieces. If you don't have those, don't worry about it this event. You'll earn them over time. Also, you can spend like 6 time gate pieces to unlock any champion, any of the event champions over here. But early on, you want to use your, you want to make sure you have time gate pieces for events. You'll need 6 for the event total, but just 3 in 1 week and 3 in another. 3 in week 2, 3 in week 3. So since we've got like multiple weeks between now and then, like I don't have any problems. Like if you've got 6 time gate pieces, like you could just, and you already got your event champions, you could just go grab a time gate. That's what I'm gonna do. People still do normal time gates with the events having a common favor. They don't have a common favor. Each event has a different favor. So, yeah, I mean, people, I think it depends. Like, if you're still chasing champions, then absolutely you're going to do natural time gates, like our manual time gates. I've done a couple on this account already. I'm going to keep doing them. On my main account, there's just no value in doing them anymore. Because the rewards you get from it aren't worth the amount of time you spend in them at late game. Which is, that's a whole other issue. It has nothing to do with common favor or anything. Well, unless you're trying to build favor somewhere. That's like the only use case scenario for them in game. The Jedi's Force. I read somewhere that it should be possible to reset the event challenges to earn more boxes. Correct. I didn't find an option to do that. It's only if you've done them before. Like on my main account, I had done all of these champions to like, tier 4. If I went to flex them, I would be given the option to reset my progress on them to get more boxes. But if you're getting them for the first time, that's it. You're getting that stuff right now. The next time you come around to this event, and if you choose to flex them, you'll be able to reset your progress or just continue from where you started. That's Calyx's taunting hand. Actually, Zoldan, what that is, that's Calyx's I am not the tank hand. That's his Jedi mind trick hand. That makes way more sense. How do you get time gate pieces? So you either you get 1 a week when you're brand new. You get 1 a week, 1 every 5 days off killing bosses. It's on a timer that you can't affect. It's just 1 every 5 days, basically. Now you'll be able to, when you get into Tomb of Annihilation, you get a bunch of favor. You'll be able to increase that by 1, so then you'll get 2 every 5 days. And then when you unlock a patron, your first patron, Mert, you'll be able to buy 1 every week, every Monday. Well, it resets every Monday, but you can buy 1 a week from him. Then Vajra, 1 a week. Every patron will sell you 1 when you get to their shops. So it starts off real slow and then it speeds up. But it specifically drops off bosses, and it's like a 2% chance off a boss. But every time you kill a boss and it doesn't drop, it goes up. So very quickly you're pretty much guaranteed to get 1. Yeah. The next free time gate in 3 days. Yes, natural time gate weekend. But in a natural time gate, you don't get to choose the champion you get. They're going to offer you 3 at random. Well, at least 1 is guaranteed to be a champion you don't already own. Yeah. And you just get to pick 1 of those 3. Whereas with a manual time gate, you pick whatever you want. As long as they're not locked out like some of them are right now. But they're locked out because they're coming in the next event. Mm-hmm. 20 silver chests and 3 gold chests isn't worth it? No. I mean, even if you got, even with the blessing and you get, or the perk and you get like 30 silver, well, it actually would be like, maybe 25, it'd be like 37 silver and 3 gold chests. Still not, it's not worth the time unless you're just racing through that. But if you're racing through that, still not worth the time. Like at end game, that's late game, end game, your time is better spent getting item levels from a Brib gem farm if you're just hunting item level. The only reason you would do them otherwise, I feel, is just for favor conversions if you're trying to really over level favor in a campaign. Time gates, you don't have 3 levels. No, time gate is 2 base adventures. One that you get when it starts get to area 50. That'll unlock you the champion and give you 1 gold chest. The next one is you just get to area 75. That gives you a gold chest. And then you get one of their variants at random, but it's one of the tier 1 variants at random. And that's another gold chest. And then you could do a free play if you wanted, but honestly, I just grab the gold chest and bounce. I do like one run to get some favor, and then I do it a little bit. I get a little bit of favor on the first one, not super much, and then on the second one I get whatever favor I need to complete the third one based off what the area goal is. Is it 75, 125, or 175? And then I do the third one and I bounce. I will probably be demonstrating that at some point this week. If not today, tomorrow. I mean, I might as well do it now. If I'm being honest. Any announced new uses for time gate pieces? No. No. So right now I have 38 champions. I have 8 time gate pieces. So really what I should do is do a time gate right now for Human. Huma? Hold on. Let me go look. Yeah. Time gate for Human. I feel like that would be a good idea. Their speed isn't going to be huge, but it's going to be better than what I got. And we'll be doing this faster than we are currently. Then I'll be at 39 champions, and then the time gate, the natural time gate, will get me to 40. Technically, I won't do that till Monday, but so next month, a week from today, I will have, I'll be able to unlock Strahd. So after we finish the Seeds of Deceit, we're just gonna just go pull it open right now. Alphabetical. Come on. So this is the way it works. When you're unlocking a champion for the first time, complete area 50, you get the champion and a chest for them. Complete area 75, you get a chest for them. And this one is a random, like the third one is just a random one of the variants. You hover over it at the top, you'll see, hey, we got 75. I consider that a win because that means I don't really have to get a lot of favor in this time gate. Because I only got to get to 75. We can just race through that without favor. So we'll be in and out of this time gate pretty quickly. I really just care about the champion and the 3 chests. I don't care about the silvers. We might go a couple. We might go a couple hundred levels in. Just because we do have the power, and I don't have a lot of electrums to gear them up with. I've only got 9. We'll see. I don't like wasting time in time gates, but Nathalis, that sounds like a glitch with triggering tier 1 completion and thus the achievement. That happens. That's been happening forever. If you have a champion that you've done all of, like you've done 3 time gates for and thus done all the variants and it didn't give you the achievement, you have to submit a ticket so that they can fix that. And then it should show up correctly also in the events as far as tier completion done. Yeah, it comes from the fact that like time gates didn't originally have the variants in them. Originally, it was just those 2 adventures. And so the variants were added to try to give you a way, well, A, another gold chest, but also B, another way to get the 3 variants completed achievement done. But for whatever reason, it didn't. They just don't all trigger the achievement correctly. And the achievement is most likely what's gating the star progress. Probably all connected. It's going to be 5 new evergreens I don't have. Belushi, Ren, Commodore Crux, Ray, and Xeraphon. Any special ways to get them? In the campaigns. I've got guides for all those. But that's... Xeraphon is Icewind Dale. Rhea is Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. Xeraphon is Icewind Dale. Belushi is the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Commodore Crux is... Commodore Crux is Light of Xerixis, and Ren is Turn of Fortune's Wheel. At some point this year, we'll get the evergreen for Vecna, Eve of Ruin. But you gotta push in those campaigns and unlock them. If you need more elections, did you ever punch in the full list of evergreen? I literally did that, like day 1 of the account. Yeah. Unfortunately, my Diana is now capped, so. You know what the next event is? Yes. And what champions will be available? Mostly. So the next event is the Great Modron March. I know, but it's May. I get it. But it's the Great Modron March. Every time. I love it. All right. So who's going to be arriving in the Great Modron March? You're going to get Diana. So if you don't have Diana for speed, Diana's going to be available. Avandra, who's a tank. Nordum, the backwards Modron, who's not really anything. Verthissa Thurgiash Mahen, the Dragonborn, member of the adopted father of Freed and Havilar. He's an amazing gold find champion. You got Jahira, who is a support DPS, really flexible support DPS, solid but not like outrageously amazing or something. You get Keelik, who's a healer, a support healer, and Evelyn Avalona Helvig Marthane, the human paladin of Lathander, tank. Also probably Nixie. I think Nixie's a flex champ. She's a DPS / support. I think she's probably more DPS than support. And then Krydle champions of the Forgotten Realms foes. Krydle is a tank, a unique tank in the game. He's a dodge tank. So he basically evades attacks and doesn't take any damage until he doesn't, and then he dies. He doesn't get hit until he does, and then he dies. Okay, we did not pass this. Why did we not? Oh, it's because it's this. Yeah, I know. It set all those off. Jerks. Trees. Hate them. All right, there we go. We did it. Trees, I hate them. Grand Cauliflower, thank you for the follow. Now, what we don't know is like officially is who the new champion is or who the rework champion is. We don't do spoilers around here, so that you just gotta wait until they do a blog post for it. All right, let's hop into Human's Time Gate. Let's snap into a Slim Jim. Wait, no, that's the wrong thing. All right, so we have no favor here. So this is just going to be painfully slow. Oh, this layout. Speaking of painful, yeah. Okay, so we're going to need, this is going to take a little bit of time. I want to do an hour. You know what? We're going to, oh, God. We're going to do it. We're going to spend an hour. We're going to spend an hour. We're going to spend an hour. And then I'm going to spend like 30 minutes. We can go faster. Yeah. Okay. We're going to push based off Bud with that Fire Breath Potion. Getting Ren is awful. I like those kind of things, but that's me. I like the Evergreen unlocks. But I get it's not for everybody. Yeah, Ren is definitely you know, depth of bench champion, right? Kind of like Commodore Crux. Commodore Crux was too. Commodore Crux was like a you know, how good is your speed? How good is your speed champions? But Ren is like, how deep is your bench? How deep is your bench? Is your bench? Is your bench? Start trying to spreadsheet up a Ren layout, and there just wasn't enough to go around. Well, you start at the bottom and you work up, and remember, early on you don't need a lot champions. You don't need a full formation for the early stuff. So many Fortune's favor. So many 2-hour plus runs just to get to E27 only goes up like 200%. That's because you're done. Unless you severely boost your gold find champions, you're done, and you just need to start converting every time into that for everything. Event conversions, time gate conversions, trials conversions, all go into Fortune's Wheel until you have a lot. I got my Fortune's Wheel favor up to E69 and I stopped because I felt like that was a nice place to get it. Now I'm dumping into Vecna Eva Ruin. Did I say new Evergreen? Well, yeah, Vecna Eva Ruin Evergreen will come out this year at some point. Sargoto dropping a sub bomb. Altre, TD Pounds, Nat 059, Schematic Rhyme 9, Tacoma Links. You've been subbed. Courtesy of Sargoto. Thank them in chat. Thank them in chat. Who's the best speed champion? It depends. Depends on where you are in the game. Yeah, not how much you bench, how deep you bench. Exactly. Exactly. Oh. Yeah, sometime this year. Bioshakira dropping sub bombs as well. Zugi 2006, Funky Pants, Cicerelli, Markle Polo, Draco's 027. You've been subbed. Courtesy of Bayushi Akira. I thought they were coming out like next week or something. Oh, I just did this year at some point. No idea how Evergreen's are released. Basically, I mean, the story, you've got to get to a certain point in the story in the campaign where they want to, where it's like, it's time to drop the Evergreen. And that's it. I mean, that's just what they're trying to do. They got to get to that point at some, you know, and then they can do it. wherever they want the evergreen to drop. Sometimes it's, you know, in the middle of a campaign. Sometimes it's like towards the end. Yeah, you never know. Delkin, thank you for the bits. Do it randomly or during event? No, it'll come out like it'll be a content drop because it's a variant. Yeah. So it's one per campaign, but Idle Champions, the only hard fast rule in Idle Champions is there's an exception to every rule, including this one. And so there's two evergreens and 2 of Annihilation, but every other campaign only has 1. Sargo, I didn't get your suggestion for the speed champion. I said it depends. I don't know. It depends on what area of the game you're in, like what you're looking for in terms of a speed champion, and like how much you can invest in them. Because some are better than others at different points in the game. Jules dropping the sub bomb. Talatis, excuse me. Bruineyer, Batty Giraffe, Mr. Super 1900, Korak, you've been subbed. Courtesy of Jules. Hello, Nat. So yeah, like I started the game off as a brand new player with Diana because she's amazing for like brand new players. Not just because she has a speed effect that's always on. That's real nice. It works on every area, but also because she dumps Electrum chests on you, which is nice. Dump those Electrum chests all over me. And then after that, like Shandy was great because she doesn't need item level investments. Diana does. Diana wants item levels. She's got an item that supports her speed effect, but you know, it scales up really quickly. Shandy doesn't need any. I got Deacon. Deacon doesn't need any. Calyx, well, Calyx was in an event, so he was a freebie, but you know, he doesn't need items. I have Briv, but while Briv has the potential to be the best speed champion in the game, he needs a major investment for that to happen. So he wouldn't really be a speed champion for me right now. Yeah. So it just depends. Like, I don't know what you're looking for and what you can invest. Like, I'm picking up Human right now because it just makes sense now that, you know, I've invested I don't need to invest anymore in Diana because once we get her feet, she will be capped on her speed effect. We're almost, you know, we've got a lot in Eliwick. Once she gets capped, then I'll start dumping item levels into Human. And we'll have a lot of speed going on. It would make more sense putting 2 on that. That's not how it worked, though. I think early on, so the first evergreen was Hitch, right? Which you get from signing up for the newsletter. And then the next one was Dritz, which you get in Sword Coast, like early on in Sword Coast. And then they opened Tomb of Annihilation. I think what they had planned to do, originally was, hey, we'll do like 2 evergreens per campaign. So they gave us Azaka halfway through, and then they gave us Dragonbait at the end. But then I think they realized, oh god, that's too many champions. Because at the time they were putting out 17 events a year, which means they were putting out 17 event champions a year, and adding 2 evergreens onto that would put them at 19. That was a lot of work. You know, too much work, arguably. So they realized maybe that wasn't the best idea, and then it's been 1 evergreen ever since. And they've stated, I think they stated publicly, that kind of their original idea for delivering Cass was going to be as part of the Vecna arc in Sword Coast. But then they were like, nah, let's just make him an event champion. So, I also think like Esmeralda would have been a great event champion in Barovia, like the Barovian arc, but that didn't happen, you know. So, I don't know, they lean more towards event champions for greens. And the one per campaign is fine for them now. Wondering if BBG can work as a speed champion without a deacon-like effect and speed potion. I mean, probably. Yeah. You just gotta get a lot of enemies out to kill quickly, right? And you can do that with spawners like Calyx or Minsk, right? Or quest reducers. I mean, he is a quest reducer, but he isn't the only one. I have trouble in Mert variants where I can't use Deacon and Whittle and I can't kill fast enough for BBG to trigger. Now you got to find some other combo. So having a deep speed bench matters. Battle champions for $800 can. It's time to pick up Human. The question: what is sooner rather than later? I don't know. I think I used to think that was true, and now I don't. Obviously, I think Diana is the right away. And I think going into like Shandy and Deacon was real great for being able to focus my item levels, because otherwise then you're trying to like, well, which do you jump your item levels on Human or jump them by Diana? I think Diana is better personally, but like it start spreading out item levels. I don't know that really speeds you up the way you could be sped up. I don't know. I don't know if rebooting fixes the box, but basically, Destjavi, that's the emergence event preview. Someone makes it seem may only need a few kills to get the quest done. Sure, but he needs to be capped and have, and there needs to be more going on. He can't just do it on his own. He got nerfed. He can't do it on. They can't. Excuse me. They. Human is a they. There's 3 Cobalt in a trench coat. They can't do it on their own. Isn't this event setting more work for them? No. Up to 25 champions? No, it's not. There's only 12 new event champions a year, and 1 evergreen. That's 13 instead of 18. That's less work. Because reworks always have to happen. That's always a thing that has to happen. It doesn't matter the event type. The rework's always going to have to happen. In fact, this is better for us. This is more consistent reworks for us, which is good. This is, everything about this is better. I earned a hype chest. What did I get? But why is okay? It's a something. It's a bird of some kind applauding. Okay. Damn, how should I weight event feats versus event achievements? Not a situation where I had to choose between 2 achievements or a feat for Rosie, who I hardly use. Had a hard time choosing. I mean, achievements can be done at any point in time, so I don't understand the choice here. I feel like you're creating a false choice. I feel like you're creating a false choice scenario. I feel like you're like, well, you wanted to what? Do tier 4 for a feat or to higher tier for a feat? Like that's what you focus on because it's limited time availability. But any of the event-based achievements can be done at any point in time. So that there isn't a choice there. Just don't bother with that. Don't bother with whatever those achievements were right away. I don't even know what choice. If you're saying it was a good percent increase to damage, I don't understand how that would happen with an event achievement, but sure. But all of these achievements over here, let's go Festival Fools. I mean, they're all like 1-ish% for stuff. So I don't know that it doesn't matter. They can all be done at any point in time. This like here, like if we look at like the champion specific one, which is like based around doing something for their kit, can be done at any time. The one for completing area 250, I mean, you should have done that easily during the event. Otherwise, it can be done in a time gate. I'm telling you, PC gear for each of 6 equipment slots. I mean, Electrum chest can do that for you anytime. All 3 tier 1 variants. I mean, you should be able to do that in an event. If you were doing deeper stuff, this should be straightforward. And then it's recruiting. Yeah, I mean, that's just what you were doing anyway. So none of that. I don't understand any of that. I understand what choice it was. 18 time gate pieces versus a feat for a champion I hardly use. I don't. So what's your okay? So this is different. This is a whole different question. This is the thing. This question confused the hell out of me. So what you're saying is, what you were really asking is, how do you make a decision between flexing an event champion, either because of they have a feat or just because you want event achievements? And that's a very different question. To me, I thought you were trying to make a decision. The way that read to me was you were trying to make a decision about how to use your time. If you're talking about flexes, I mean, if it's a champion you don't use, then why do you care what feat they have? Right? But also, flexing for an achievement is kind of pointless. Like 1%? Doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, on my main account, you could delete the achievement percent damage bonus, all champion damage bonus. I probably would never notice. And I have like almost all the achievements in the game. Not that big of a number. So, you know, I think just figure out what you want out of flexing champions. Make that choice for yourself. That's ultimately what flexing comes down to. Don't achievement chase with your choices unless you're late game and that's all you got left to do, right? But that's not what you should be making your decisions based around, like through the mid game. Why do you call it flexing? Because these are referred to as flex slots. They're flexible slots. These are fixed. You have 2 fixed featured champions. Every other one of these 4 slots down here, you get to. They're flexible. You can fill them with any champion you want. They're referred to as flex slots. So flexing a champion is picking one up from those other slots. But yeah, I think you just got to change how you're making decisions, because achievement chasing isn't a worthwhile use of your time unless you just have nothing left to do. Yeah. And chasing a feat, like for a champion, if you don't own them, then why are you chasing something for them, I guess? Feels, real straightforward, but I guess not everybody thinks about it that way. Which is fine. Okay, so we're flying right along here. I am going deeper than I really wanted to do, but one of the nice things that we're going to get out of this is a good chunk of favor. That'll make the racing through the other 2 real fast. Plus, I'm grabbing some silver chests, as much as I don't care about the silver chests so much. I mean, we do need some to make up for Diana no longer dropping Electrum chests as much as she used to now. Okay, this is good. This is good. What did I just get over here? 15 in the Grand Tour. Okay. Wait, Human isn't a Human? They confirmed that they won't go over 12 new champions per year. Is that what I said? I mean, look, I don't know why people got to be so... Like, people want to play gotcha with my statements sometimes. And it's super annoying. There are 12 events in a year. Generally speaking, there's one new champion per event. Sometimes there's 2 new champions in an event, but sometimes there's 2 reworked champions in an event. So the average is 1 new champion every event so far. That's pretty much how it's worked out. And then one evergreen champion. They have stated that's how events work now. That's what they've stated. Obligatory Garwar. Can we go upstate and visit seasons now? Oh, so that's right. Yeah, we did get Volo and Sheila in the same event. That's right. So that was the 2 new champions. And arguably, they argue that Grim is a new champion. He's not. He was in the game before. So Beal and Grim, to me, are 2 rework champions. But they're like, well, he's a new champion. He's got a new champion ID. I don't. That's semantics. He was in the game before. He had a kit. You reworked him. But could it happen? Sure. But, generally speaking, the concept of Events 2.0 is 1 new champion each event and 1 rework champion each event, plus an evergreen each year. Don't chase even if all champions no other real use for time gates. Well, then if you have no other real use for time gates, why are you worried about spending 18 time gate pieces? I mean, I don't know when you're talking in chat, if you don't tell me what what part of the game you're in, and I did qualify my answer that unless you're late game and you have nothing else to do, if you got nothing, if you don't tell me what part of the game you're in, I'm gonna give answers as if you're a newer player. That's what I make guides for. So that tends to be where I target my answers, unless I know where somebody is, because I don't know, that's rare. Yeah. Will the next event like this one start? Wednesday, the blah blah blah, 7th May. It's the first Wednesday of each month. It wasn't about the time gate pieces. Well, you made it because you said it's 18 time gate pieces versus 3. Like, you made it sound like it was a cost thing. I don't achievement chase. I got them all eventually on my main account, but it wasn't like I tried to chase them all down. Again, at a certain point, after them, when you get into late game, I really, from the very beginning of the game, play the game however you want. But if you're going to ask me questions about like how I value things or what then I'm going to tell you that I don't really care about achievements. I think they're useless in this game. Like the power coming from them is pointless. Like they should, if you have, after 7.5 years, you have all achievements, it should feel like you did something, and you have the power that represents it. You don't. It's like an EO 7% or something. That's pointless. So I don't know. Figure out if you're that far into the game, you should be able to make your own decisions about what you value. Right? I don't value achievements. I also don't. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably chase feats, but that's just because I it's something for getting to tier 4 instead of nothing, like, but, and then I'd have to choose, like, this would be more important to me because it's a pigment I can put on anyone than a feat. 2 feats for Rosie. Like, if I wasn't using Rosie's pretty great as a DPS. But if I didn't care, if I had gone so hard on someone else that I was never going to use Rosie, then this would be like one of the last things I would care about. And instead I'd want this one so that I could get the DPS pigment, right? And if you're truly late game, then time gate pieces, the amount of time gate pieces you're spending doesn't matter. And you can do 3 time gates, spend 18 time gate pieces. I mean, on my account, I've got almost 1,000 time gate pieces. Super easy to go do. Who cares about 18 time gate pieces? But you got to figure out where you are and make your decision accordingly. What's the 5 XP thing that keeps popping up? Feel like crazy when I restart the game. Are you on Epic? Is it achievements? Did it trigger your achievements? Because it doesn't always pop them immediately. Yeah, it's just Epic's achievements they're giving you. They're feeding you your achievements. I don't see them on this account because I've played this account before. I just had them reset my progress. I started over, so I already have like the achievements that Epic would be triggering. I just have to earn everything in game again. I don't like wasting hour-long potions, but I think when this, I think we got 6 more minutes. I think we get past like 400, we're probably good. Did we get some silvers? I got 3 silvers so far. Well, I mean, that's guaranteed. So, I forget that I don't have that perk yet. Question: You're sticking with Ishi at the end of this playthrough. Would you consider switching to a different DPS if there's an interesting new reworked one of the future events? No, this is an Ishi playthrough. Yeah. I mean, I will use other champions if Ishi isn't available, but I came into this specifically based doing something that I hadn't done before and saying, I'm going to be an Ishi main on this run. That's not how I approached new accounts before, but I wanted to do something different this time. I mean, I've done this every year, and it just, doing it the same way every time is, it just gets boring. So I wanted something a little different. So we did a pay to play run, just a little bit, just that 3x choose your champion pack and one of the daily reward boosts, which is already worn off. Yeah, so I want to see how well Ishi scales all the way through this playthrough. I mean, I definitely have switched to Karlach for favor, and like to go further in a deep favor run, but when it comes to like completing adventures and variants, I really would like to do it with Ishi, if possible. Let's talk about how you use support champions to make a strong group. So the whole point of a group is you pick who your DPS is going to be in your group. In this case, for me, it's Ishi. And then every other champion needs to be buffing Ishi. And you need to be giving and you want to be giving Ishi the biggest buffs possible. So ultimately what you're trying to do is figure out which champions have the biggest buffs available, or the biggest buff potential in a run. Because sometimes they don't meet they don't get to their biggest stuff until you're towards the deep part of a run. So like I've got speed now. Here I've got speed champions. I've chosen a lot of these for speed. So Shandy is here to speed, but she's also buffing. Diana's here for speed, but she's also buffing. Aliwick's in here for gems, but she's also buffing. She's giving us horrible gems at the moment. Deacon's in here for speed, but he's also buffing. But these others, like Halson's just here for the buffs. Sheila's here to scavenge, but she's also buffing. I'm just filling a whole... I'm just kind of... Zaka's filler, honestly. Halix is speed, but he's also got a buff. And then Dragon Baits are tank, and he's also buffing, right? And they're all placed in a way that I'm trying to take advantage of their buffs. And we've got enough damage where we're just flying along, and I don't need to try to rebuild this. But this isn't a pushing group for damage. This is a speed group that we're progressing with. So if I were trying to if I needed to actually like push further, I would switch to different champions who have stronger buffs and more and probably some more survivability for the front line. Calyx is going to fall over. Well, actually, he's redirecting, so it's fine. Never mind. So Calyx is redirecting to Dragon Bait, and as long as we keep Dragon Bait alive, but Dragon Bait probably needs a little more. He would prefer some more health, maybe from another tank in the formation or something. So that's the whole point of a formation, is you figure out who your DPS is, and then you build to buff them. The maximum percentage bonus on a Modron piece? It depends. No, people hate these answers. The maximum stated bonus is 20%. But here's the thing. With a Modron piece and inputs, like if you have a 3 in, 1 out, which I can't demonstrate here. Here's a 2 in, 2 out. The more inputs you fill, the bigger the buff is going to get. Like if we show here, if I were somehow also to fill this one, like one is, this is basically if with one input you're going to get 20%. If I could then get a second buff into this, hold on, can I do this? No, actually I needed. Ugh, hold on. Okay, let's come down here. And then this, and then we want this one. I actually have to stop and think about this. We do this. We do this. Nope, that's not. This is the wrong custom core. What's this one? If you'll notice, before this is hooked up, it's 20%. But once I hook up 2 inputs, it goes to 200%. There's a boost based off the number of inputs. And if I had a 3 in, 1 out, and I hooked up all 3, I think it goes to 333. So it depends. What's the maximum bonus? Well, the maximum stated bonus is 20%. But then depending on what kind of pipe it is, it could get bigger. I guess we're going to finish 530 minutes. That was neat. No, so I'm at the point where a half an hour of investment is kind of worth it. It is. I am wasting a bit of these hour longs, but I'm okay with that. We're getting E15 favor. Not bad. Not bad. Now we're just gonna fly through these. Fly, you fools! Oh, I'm the fool in this case because I forgot to save that formation. I'm the fool. Okay, let's redo this. All right, that's fine. So we got our speed. I'm not even going to bother with, you know what, we're going to do like 5 minutes. We don't really need potion speed for this that much. All right. Do you know if Human is classified as a human or a human in the code? He counts as a human. There's no parentheses necessary. He counts as a human. He also counts as kobolds. Excuse me. Keep doing that. They count as human and kobold. They count as both. If we go over here, you can see kobold, human. I know there's little parentheses. Doesn't matter. It's human. You're reading too much into this, Jam. You're reading way too much into this, and you could figure this out on your own. You don't need us to tell you. You could just go look at something that's trying to trigger about humans and see if it works. Hey, Learning Rainer. Yeah, I've only done video guides for Modron stuff. I haven't done written guides yet. It's on a to-do list, but I don't know. I don't know if it ought to be done. Honestly. I had a lot of guides. Just maintaining all those guides is a lot of work. And every time you add a new one, that's more to maintain. Dilettante. Human needs a glitch feat named Honeywear in My Pants that allows them to be counted as a dwarf. Bold of you to assume that dwarves wear pants. Dwarf would care about wearing pants. Armor, sure, but pants? I would like, they do have a dwarf skin. Hammermon. There's someone who lots of glitch feats would be neat for, because like here's one that would count as a dwarf. Here's a vampire one that count them as undead. Here's a snowman that count him as a construct, right? Why not? Demi-Lich could also be undead. Yeah, I don't know. They could do some interesting stuff, but I don't think they're gonna. Hey, Jack. Welcome to the game. $10,000 gems. So hard not to just go spend that. Let's gear up Human. Let's start with some Electrums. So the reason I like to use Electrums is because of the rules for chests. Electrums drop chests like gear for every champion you own, which makes it sound like you wouldn't want to do it. But it is, and you want to do it first. Some people are like, no, do the named silver ones first, and they're wrong. They're objectively wrong. Rare that I will say that. They're objectively wrong. Because when there's no gear on a champion, Electrum will magnet their gear straight to that champion. But if they already have gear on it from silvers, who were guaranteed to go straight to Human already, then the stuff out of these could dupe to anywhere. That's pointless. So let them magnet onto the empty slots. Here we go. There's just 2 greens. Great. I would love to just get all the 6 greens. There's 3 greens. Let's not give me any whites. That'd be great. Well, blue. So blue did go somewhere else, but that's because a blue could have gone anywhere, whereas whites and greens can only go to Human right now. Right now, not everybody has blues, so this was actually, that's nice. I'll take it. There's another green for Human. Dang it, I got a white. Okay. Now we just got to hope we can... No, there's another white. So there's all of Human's gear slots filled, but now I'm duping whites. Really want that green. There's another green. Cool. Okay, so Human now has 5 greens, 1 white. Awesome. That's where this silver is going to come in. These silvers are going to come in. Hopefully, I get the last green. Got it. That's what I wanted. I didn't have a lot of electrums. Usually with enough electrums, you can get to greens. It'll be fine. Now all of these named silvers, they're just going to go to Human, and that's fine. They're guaranteed to go there. But we got gear super efficiently out of those electrums that could have gone anywhere. Now I can open these gold chests, and we'll get blues or purples. We'll take purples, but we did get a guaranteed blue. Neither of these are the one we want. Specifically want this slot 4. We would love an epic on slot 4, but let's go ahead and throw them in now. Let's talk about Human. So, Human, if you are not aware, are 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Kobolds, a human. Rogue Bard, there's actually 3 of them. There's 2 boys and 1 girl, so their pronouns are they, them. Lawful Evil, support speed, control breaker, no affiliation. The speed effect is a function of teamwork, and it's when they're in the front column. So right now it's not active because they're not in what's considered the front column. This is a 4-column formation. So we want to move them up 1. And now their speed effect is active. Enemies have a % chance to drop double quest items or count for double quest progress. And you can raise this number with this item. You'll see it's got a cap. The cap value is based off rarity. So right now we're getting a small bonus. We can boost this, and you can go above double. You can get triple and quadruple and quintuple and more. And also, it's also boosted by the number of enemies adjacent to them through carefully balanced. So for each, and that's actually what you're boosting here is carefully balanced. It's a boost for each champion adjacent to the kobolds. So they, with lots of adjacencies, they don't even need a super high item level to give you good progress. That's what's actually getting boosted with the slot 4 is carefully balanced. But that's then boosting Zrang's teamwork. So I can see it's a little confusing, but basically where you place them in the formation determines what kind of bonuses you get. So they can be a speed champion, they can be a general pushing champion, and they can be a boss killer. Their ultimate makes that effect better. So Zrang's teamwork's doubled for 30 seconds, but the cooldown currently is 400 and something seconds. So later when the cooldown is much lower, it's nicer. But they have a lot of feats. Specifically, have a couples. They have at least, so the path is clear. Basically, increases game speed by 10% when the formation is not under attack. It's a mini Shandy effect. So this is one you like to go for. And then carefully balanced. You would want both of these, and you could kind of stop there if you're just going for speed. These are obviously gem feats, but they're both nice. It's nice that they're both there. It's also nice this is a gem feat. This one we're going to want to go for. Actually, we'll probably do that right away instead of saving up for Diana's. But we completed this, so we're out. Lurking Rider, thank you for 42 months. Much appreciated. All right, now we're going to do kobolds and trench coats. Right. Okay. It's all about the kobolds and trench coats. Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. We'll be okay. I'm like, I don't need to read all that. There's some restrictions going on here, but the biggest restriction is that you're down 2 champions in your formation. That's really the one you need to be concerned about. The other thing that's going on that's kind of going to slow us down a little bit is they've kind of doubled our quest goals up here. It's because they want you to, you know, trigger their speed effect to reduce it, like to get extra credit. Super annoying when it's a brand new champion and they don't have any gear though. Super annoying. All right, we're kind of gonna need a tank. All right, there we go. All right, let's throw this out. Open this other chest. No, that's their buff. I didn't need their buff. Wanted their speed effect. Okay, so we gotta go 75 arrows. I'm gonna throw potions at this one because of the increased quest requirements. I want the potioning. I want the potioning, please. And all the speed champions you can give me. All the speed champions you can give me. There we go. And I'm actually gonna throw the familiar here. Even though it's gonna take forever to come back. Okay, let me scroll up. I'm behind in chat. There's been a lot of discussion going on. I had Lurking Rider. I had left it as now with more Elroy. I had left it as the Friday one. I hadn't changed it. For a C3 speed champion, should I choose Nahara or BBG? I'm leaning towards Nahara. She appears to reduce area requirements more effectively. Yeah, do whatever you want. BBG with the speed feat is the more efficient one, but some people don't like meeting his requirement of killing super quickly, which does require some other champions. Nahara's doesn't, but I mean, either one's fine. I prefer BBG personally. But you can go with whatever you want. Explain Halson's speed mechanic. It's garbage. Done. Done. I will go into more, I promise, but it's garbage. Yeah. I'm not, like, when I use Halson, I'm not ever thinking about his speed effect. Ever. He's in there for buffing, and most of the time I forget that he's a speed champion because his effect is pretty garbage. Okay, so Halson. Halson. Let me read off from my guide what his effect actually does. Call to action. In non-boss areas, so, 4 out of 5 areas, agree. Every time the area quest progresses, that's the box up here at the top right, there's a chance that you will just immediately complete the quest and move on to the next area. So the base maximum chance before you get items, gear, and item levels is 20% if the quest is 1 away from being completed. But is greatly reduced based on the number of quest items left to collect or enemies left to defeat. And it is minuscule at the start. And the problem is well, there's a lot of problems to this, but one of the problems here is that it's literally triggers on if the quest is 1 away from being completed. Well, if the quest is 1 away from being completed, when you pick up the next item, it's done anyway. So either that wording needs changed or the ability does, because that's, who cares? Who cares? And in a game where you can reduce quest requirements and you can get multiple credit for things, being something triggering from being 1 away just isn't very important. And he needs so many item levels to get to his cap. Where is it? Where is his thing at? So with blue boots, I need 32,571 item levels, which makes him the second greediest champion and speed champion in Idle Champions. The first, I think, being Briv, to try to get an effect going. The others they're functionally capped before that, but just don't have actual caps. So it's just a really bad. I find it to be a really bad effect, personally. I don't, if it goes off, great, but otherwise, I don't care. If I had BBG or Nahara here, I'd be using them. Yeah. Sorry, just answering some questions on the subreddit. I think there's nothing we can do here except just wait. Luckily, we only have to go to 75. I'm already to 56, so that's nice. All right. Only attain level 5 on the fast course, so if many levels to unlock, I do see that 6 provides 2 nodes of speed. No, it doesn't. 5 does. 5 provides 1 node. 10 provides a node. What are you looking at? Hold on. Now I gotta go look. Where's 6? Six provides a wisdom buff and an all champs damage buff. This is 7, and this is a gold cost of gold to level up champions, which is kind of pointless. This is the first speed buff. It's enemy spawn speed. It's at 5. This is the second one. It's basically speed potion, a little mini speed potion, mini shandy, whatever, at 10. And then this is the third one, and it's extra credit for quests at 15. So there's only 3 speed nodes on the fast core. Now the thing is you still want to focus on that one first, because the power available in the fast core is almost as good as the modest core. And for all intents and purposes, you want to be running the fast core all the time. I mean, it's basically almost all I use on my main account, because if I can complete everything fast and there's enough damage there, why would I want to use anything else? Like, you only really need to switch to something more like damage optimal if you're trying, if you're a little short on a variant, or you're trying to eke everything you can out of a deep favor run, or just getting the maximum highest possible damage contribution in trials. That's it. That's not often. The bulk of the game, you're just going to want to race through with the fast core. Hey, am I done already? Wasted like a speed potion, but I don't care. All right, I've got all 3 of these. I'm done. I'm out. I don't care. We'll convert into Helm. Yeah, Helm. Waterdeep. That's where we're going next. All right, back to Barovia then. So, hey, that was a quick stop to pick up a speed champion that we can now use to go faster, farther in these runs. 250, huh? Guess we'll go 3 of those, and maybe 3 of these. No. So Andy, Diana. That's funny how that laid out. Okay. Oh, get Deacon leveled up to his speed effect. Let's get Human in. Human now. Remember how that other conversation about how Human has to be in the front, right? For their speed effect to work? In a 5-column formation like this one, front is the front 2. And Human's abilities will tell you that when you open it up and look. And I'll point it out here in a second. I just want to get everybody kind of into their effects. Okay. So now it says front 2 columns. So in a 4-column formation, it's just the front 1 and the middle 2. In a 5, it's the front 2, the middle 1, and the back 2. In a 6, it'll be front 2, middle 2, back 2. I don't think we've ever seen 7. I don't think we've seen 7. Let's go open this last chest. Let's see if we get lucky. Hey, we got our blue carefully balanced, so I'm happy. So we still need a blue here. This will be random out of it. Like these 2 will be random out of Electrums. We got the blue I cared about. I would have loved it if it had been epic, but we'll take blue. So this is going to move us up to now 60% chance with 4 adjacent. We're getting a bigger speed chance, which is nice. But Human's going to want a lot of item levels. But I'm still going to maximize Diana's gem gain first. And then I'm going to work on Human's. I'm just going to accept like whatever passive speed we're getting from Human for now, until we get our maximum gem gain from Eliwick. And then we'll dump all the rewards from those gems into Human next. But I do we have... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, I was going to say, do we have 12,500 gems yet? No. When we get 12,500 gems, Human's getting the feat first. They're going to get this Path is Clear feat. Because this is just more speed potion, basically. Yeah. Now they've got a couple 12.5k feats. We're going to get both of those before we worry about This changed our path. We're gonna get both of those 12.5K feats before worrying about a 50K feat for Diana. Whereas UA unaffiliated, that's just shorthand for unaffiliated. Hey, Shevik. I don't care. Like, it just annoys the hell out of me that Reddit has achievements. Like, you're not supposed to play Reddit. You're just supposed to use Reddit. Like, it's not a game. Why did you give it achievements? And I say that, and I used to have achievements on a fan site that I ran. I'm a hypocrite. But it wasn't about like playing. It was just, I don't know. It's long-term contribution. But some parts of Reddit's achievement system I feel like playing a game. It's a little silly. Feels a little silly. All right, Bayou Shakira. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, I had just realized I had raid up. Didn't have it doing anything. Why? Why didn't I have it doing something? Oh god, I don't know. Okay. Energy. Why do I have? Don't know. Hold on. Fire Knight 7. This. Alright. See what happens. Let that work in the background. This week there's a boss named Alabaster Booty Clap. Yep. Comment on that when we get back from the break. I didn't say I didn't bring the puppet. What? Oh, captions. I would say never change, but please change. Please change. Back from the break. Zealous just found out this week there's a boss named Alabaster Booty Clap. Yes. Yes, that's a bit of an Easter egg. Not unlike this Cadbury egg. No, it's a bit of an Easter egg because it's a reference from a Havilar recap, which was these special editions of Champions of Lore, which happened with B. Dave Walters, Trevor Bettis, and Aaron M. Evans, where they talked about lore of the game. Aaron wrote a series of books called the Brimstone Angels series, and that's where Farida and Havilar and Mehen come from. And so she did Havilar recaps from the perspective of Havilar, having watched or having gone through this experience of Idle Champions presents something. I can't remember what the first Idle Champions, but it was a live play series. And they had run into someone who claimed, like this drunken guy who claimed to be Halaster Blackcloak, who, as we all know, is the mage of Waterdeep who cloned himself a bunch. And so it could have been one of Halaster's clones, but she didn't really learn the name. So she's like, ran into some guy named, something, blah, blah. And then the next thing out of her mouth was Alabaster Booty Clap. I don't know, and everybody lost it. And so Aaron ended up being one of the writers for the content of the game. And so at a certain point, we got Alabaster Booty Clap as a boss in game. And it's a throwback to Halaster Blackcloak. All right, I need a tank. So you're coming out. You're going in. Havilar recaps were the best, though. Original Idle Champions Presents was split into 2 adventures based on Fleetswag. I think so. That's where all the red panda skins came from. But yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember what the name. I've got shirts for a lot of them, but I don't think I have shirts for all of them. I think the shirts came later. Wonder where we could figure that out. I don't know. I'm like, are we at 12,500 yet? Why not? Why not? Contracts. I've got 3 blues now. Okay. These are still going over here. I mean, maybe we get her to like 300. Here's the thing. We're at... Oh, the fate cards. I'm like, how did we get to max, folks? 2 cards, 100% per. So that's the most you can get is 100% per. But what we're getting is we've got 2 gems and 3 fates, and it's guaranteeing us triple gems right now, which is fantastic. I mean, if you're not going to get a gem card on when you want gems, you want fate cards to go with the gem card, whatever gem cards you have, because it's basically boosting the value of this card. But I am not at 100% per. This is being boosted, so. But ultimately, I want to keep investing into Eliwick to get her as close to 100% per. I really want 100% per, but we want to get close, and then we'll use, hopefully one day we'll get this feat out of a gold chest, boosts that by 40%. And that alone would cap us. And then we want this after it's available. But I think maybe if she gets to 300, I stop and start dumping into Human instead. And then just cross my fingers for that feat. That might be a good idea. So where are we at on this map? Didn't want to do that. We're here. And the way this works is you go from here, up to here, and then you end up down here, and then over here, and then back up over here. So we do have a few to go. I can't remember exactly how many. I could probably go look that up. That's what my new player reference is for. I think I listed it all out. Let me find prepping for Strahd. Yes. Family entanglements, tower on the lake, seeds of deceit, flies on the wall, backtracking through Barovia, excavating history, towering expectation. So we're on flies on the wall. Once we finish this, we'll only have 3 more and we'll be done. Yeah, it's great. Then we can go back to Waterdeep. This actually worked out. Oh, this actually worked out really well. Yeah, because I actually do have Strahd, planning ahead for Strahd, and the section right ahead of Alcoria. So, yeah, Alcoria needs so much. Oh my god. Alcoria needs a total of 45 adventures and variants, and there's 19 adventures, which means you have to do 26 variants in Waterdeep. Alcoria wants so much. Oh no. I remember we were talking about this last week, and someone commented, what if you just skipped Alcoria with this power and went straight to Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus to unlock Trials of Mount Tiamat? I might do that. We do have a lot of power. Then we need to come back, and I'd still want to come back and do Waterdeep, but we don't really need. Here's the thing: we don't really need Alcoria. She's not a huge champion, but normally you're doing it. You're working towards her because what you need is all of the gems you get out of doing all that stuff, because it's going to power you up. But I have the power. The power of Garskull. Yeah. But yeah, usually I'm wanting Alcoria to try to chase one of the split the parties. But I've got the 2 split the parties I care about. How big of a Pentagrams and Sunshine? How big a priority is the gem blessing from Icewind Dale as a newer player? I mean, you wouldn't go there for it if you were new. You get the gem blessing from Sword Coast. Like I don't care enough about it to have tried to go there and get it. So I usually Icewind Dale is mid game territory. So when you get there, yeah, you grab it, but I don't know. I wouldn't try to leave and, like Tomb of Annihilation to try to go there or something. So I guess it just depends on where are you at? Where you're at. Icewind Dale can be a little raw. I mean, it's in the medium difficulty range of campaigns, so. cores which cost gems appear in the shop after. It's right here, down here. So on your current parties list down here, there's this little nondescript button that says buy additional cores. And you buy them from here. They're 500,000 gems apiece. Strong core, unaffiliated, dexterous. They don't show up anywhere else. Well, Okoria fits her niche. She is the magic kind of DPS formation build around, right? Like that's Duke Ravengard is the melee one, and Solok is the ranged one. It would be nice if Okoria was stronger, like Duke Ravengard, but she's an evergreen and not an event champion, so. You're not an idiot for missing that button. It's literally there's nothing that would make you think that when you're using all of this that there's a button down here that's going to give you access to more stuff. Like there's no reason this shouldn't just have been moved to the gem shop by now and getting rid of this button. There really isn't. But I think it was created before the gem shop existed, maybe? The gem shop didn't always exist. Like the gem page of the shop. How do I get so much gold? Favor. Favor allows you to get more gold. This is Torm's campaign, so I have E30 favor, and that's allowing me to earn tons and tons of gold. And you get that by just progressing your champions, gearing them up better, buying chests with gems and putting item levels on people and learning how to build better formations and pushing further and I mean, 4-jump, Briv, you could stop caring a lot about gems. Unfortunately, it's kind of addictive. So, I say at 9-jump I'm going to stop caring about gems, but who knows? Who knows? I'm closer. I think I'm 6,000 average item levels away. So 36,000 item levels away on my Briv. Isn't bad. I'm just real sad that it didn't happen during this event, but $250. We're almost there. Yeah, the power that we've accrued on this account as quickly as we have is kind of, it's demonstrating that at times you have to change your priorities and kind of readjust some things. Like you should when presented with new information, reevaluate what's going on based off that new information. This is definitely not a normal free-to-play playthrough, right? It's not even free to play, but we're not spending a lot. It's a low spend playthrough that happened to have gotten a lot of power. All right, backtracking through Barovia. Flies on the wall. We're going to do this. This one next. I think I needed more than that, but fine. Scavenger. Damage. Actually, I think I'm gonna go. Honestly, Dragon Bait. I'm gonna put them back there. I think that's what I want. I think this makes more sense for what we're trying to do at the moment. Let's change that. Okay. Just got a shiny from a silver chest for the Dark Urge. Didn't know it can happen. Shinies can come from any chest that drops gear for a champion. It drops items. Yeah. So silvers, electrums, golds. You know, all the different varieties of silvers, electrums, and golds. Can't come from like supply chests and Bahamut chests don't drop items for champions, so it won't come from there, but everything else will. Invars, how much can I trust the base DPS breakdown meters? Not at all. They're lies. Base DPS is a lie. Does it right here. If you pop it out and hover over this, a static version of your base DPS. It is not dynamically affected by timed or random events, stacking, or enemy debuffs. And those things, stacking and enemy debuffs, are huge potentially sources of damage, right? Instead, they just use a static modifier to represent those. Now, then it says it's useful to compare formations. It's not. But may not fully reflect total damage on enemies. That's why it's not useful to compare formations. There are times when if you're trying to build a formation around whether the number up here, if it's showing base DPS and it shows green and red, there are times where it's actually teaches you to build bad formations because it's using those static modifiers. Running average also isn't great. It is counting an average off of things, but if you got a random big hit for some reason, certain champions can create like scenarios where you get a huge hit, like Kroll can create a scenario where your weakest champion actually does the most damage in a run, and it can throw off the whole chart when that happens. So what you use instead is a combination to figure out if you've built a good formation. Is a combination of Bud down here. That's what this value is. Base ultimate damage. And the area you can get to when pushing deep. Because sometimes you can build a super high Bud formation, but you can't go very far. Like you can go far, but then when you make some adjustments, your Bud might go down, but maybe your survivability goes up, and then you can push further. Like so, there's always a combination of those two things in terms of progression that you're looking at. And your Bud isn't going to show like its best values, like where I'm at in a run. It's going to show the best potential values closer to where I would have trouble killing things when there's lots more enemies building up. So you just kind of got to learn how to build a good formation. You got to understand that when you're starting a run like this is a horrible pushing formation. Well, it's not horrible. It's not a good pushing formation. I've got way better on this account. I don't need it, though, for what I'm doing. I'm just racing through, a couple hundred areas. It's got more than enough damage for that. So it does what I want it to do, which is go fast. And it's not, I'm sacrificing damage for speed. Because in this case, that's more important. Chasing shinies would be the only real reason to mass purchase silver chests over gold. Even then, it's not a reason that I think is worth it. And it's because you're going to loot so many silver chests on their own. And you're chasing so many things out of gold chests. Gold chests can drop shinies too, but obviously they cost more. So you're getting fewer of them. But I found that when I was chasing fully gilded on my main account, I didn't buy silvers. I bought gold chests because I was also trying to get all the feats out of the gold chests, and I was fully gilded before I had all the feats. So, and I was also getting lots of blacksmithing or bounty contracts, which you don't really get out of silvers. So, it's just a better all-around push for your account. Like just trying to pick one thing and maximize something in this game tends to, like, it's nice that you're seeing a progression towards that, but it leaves all the rest of your progression behind. So if you can progress lots of things at once, it's more efficient with your time. Until you get into the late game, and then you're picking certain things because everything has come up hopefully fairly equally, and then you're pushing where the big gains are first. It's easy to use the basic controller. Oh, you're talking about the controller mode. Ugh. I've never used the gamepad UI. Ugh. Are the time gate champions available? I don't know what you mean. All of them? Batty Giraffe? I mean, well, I guess there's some that aren't. There's some that for the next event are locked out. Right? But, oh, this is a bad demonstration. I don't have 6 time gate pieces. But all of them? This Friday, there will be a natural time gate weekend, but the 3 champions available vary per account. Not a fixed set of champions. It looks at the pool of champions you have, and it makes sure that it's giving you at least one champion you don't own. So. Here we go. So 163.9. I'm at about 55% per card. Not great, but yeah, I think we get that. I think we get Eliwick up to 300, and then I invest in him on. What's the coming soon this time? Emergence event. Which probably there's a B up here. If you could see, there's a B. That's the B is the image that means, oh, the game had a problem loading an image. So if I restart, maybe it's fine. There is a B. You can see the B butt. B's little butt with his stingers hanging out over here. So the image just didn't load in. It's not bananas. It's a B. It's not bananas. It's literally a B. That's a B with the black and yellow stripes. Yeah. I get that maybe you don't know that, but literally the default image in this game is a bee. The little picture of a bee, a honeybee. And so whenever something doesn't load in, you get a bee. We've had enormous bees on the screen when like something didn't load in right, and there's just a gigantic bee on the screen. It's funny. Like the background doesn't load in and you just get big B. When I can't realistically complete another challenge for Festival Full, should I do a Festival free play or go back to the campaign? Probably just go back to the campaign at that point. If you've done all you think you can do, head back to the campaign. There's no use beating your head against a wall. I had the game load where everything was a B. Well, yeah, you're on the potato though. It's all about the potato. Okay, here, let me restart. We just changed songs. Let me restart. We'll see if it comes in. Sneeze again. I just went away completely. It works too. Yeah, it may have triggered too soon. I don't know. I mean, it definitely needs a graphic that maybe the game didn't have, like a graphic file. For sure. Or maybe it was supposed to be maybe it was like an automatic trigger for a vault, but we don't have a vault right now. We have an emergence event. I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't really affect me at the moment. We get new items in the corrupted gem shop for the event. Yes, every time a new emergent event. So here's what's going to happen. If, well, not if. A new emergence event is coming in less than 2 days. So Wednesday at noon Pacifically. When the event gets here, 10 more Marvelous Support Pigments will be added to this part of the shop. So if you have any stock remaining, they backfill. So the older stuff is at the front and the newer stuff is at the back, like you properly backfill in a retail store. All of these other things here that are currently listed, including this, actually this one might go away, but but they'll have a countdown timer that says that there's only like 9 days left to get them. But then you will get new golden epics that are new and based around whatever this emergence event is. New skins, new feats, and a new chest, a new emergence chest. And then once the event is over, the things that we're counting down will be gone, and anything that you didn't purchase goes into like a 90-day exclusivity period where it's not available anywhere. Kind of like that. That's what happened here with this feat for Eliwick. It's in its exclusivity period. Feats will then, after 90 days, go into the shop, show up here for 50,000 gems. Kind of like this one, right? Skins go into the wild offer pool. Golden epics go into the wild offer. That's the way that works. Wow, so I don't really need 2 of these now to go 250. See, we got way more efficient with Human and speed-wise. I think I only need 1 of these? Plus some of these now? Wow. All right. Before it was 1 and some of the small ones to go 200, but now I think it's 1 and some of the small ones to go 250. How come champions with no gear have item levels? What? Grim, Dark Urge, Mary, Veronica, Calyx, and Cass have 0 item levels. Right, that means they don't have any item levels. I mean, it's going to show up as 0 item levels because you don't have any. You don't have any gear. Grim has 68. Then he has gear. He would have to have gear, or else it's a bug. He would have to have... Oh, I know what's going on. You have Grim in with Beetle in a formation, right? And Beetle has gear? Because that's how they work. You need to read Beetle and Grim. They have an ability called Brothers in Armors. So if Beetle is in the formation, all of Grim's equipment item levels are increased by Beetle's base average item level. They give each other their item levels. So it doesn't matter that Grim has no... If he has no gear, it's not doing anything. If he had gear, if he had even whites, it would be doing something. So you need to get, you need to open some Electrum chests and get some gear on people. And then that'll matter. But that's why Grim would have item levels. No one else gets that. No one else get that. But Grim would. Because of Beetle. If Beetle's in the formation. Miria has 84 with no gear, then there's a bug. She doesn't get item levels from anyone. Yeah, I mean, technically, if you unlock these champions this event, they should have white gear. So I feel like what's happening is that the gear isn't showing up for you. I think you need to turn your client off and then turn whatever platform you're playing on off. Like if it's Epic, shut down Epic, then reopen the platform. It doesn't matter, fix it. I'm trying to explain that you've run into a bug. I really need you to shut the game down, then shut the the game client, then shut the platform down you're playing the game on, then restart the platform and restart the game, and hopefully that fixes the bug you're dealing with. Because if you unlock these champions in this event, there's literally an augment that gives them gear. And there's another and item levels. So you're given white gear for free in this event. And if you clear tier 2 or higher, you're given item levels for free. So I think what you're running into is that you've got a bug because I think you probably haven't closed your client lately. I don't know. You're running into a bug. It's a visual bug. Yeah, with this game, turning it off and turning it back on again is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Okay, yeah, the next 250, we're just going to run a 15-minute potion in some 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I would restart, but you got to restart not just the client, but you got to restart the platform too. And if you don't, if that doesn't then show you that you at least have white gear, then I would submit a ticket because something be borked on your account. College Tom, thank you for the follow. Oh, hey, we got the gems. All right, we got the gems. Where is it? The path is clear. Boom. Path is clear. We want this. So now we're going to go even faster. Save that with the feats. Now we're up to 2.888. A little more mini Shandy effect going on there. And then when they're under attack, it goes back down to 175. All right, there's our done. There's our done button. There's our done button. And then we go all the way over here. Excavating history. Oh, I thought there was another node. I guess there's just 5. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now, is this 250 as well? It is. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. One of these, three of these. If now, that really should be enough because now we've got even more speed coming in than we had before. Level up the champions. Hey, Phoenix Rises. Yeah, verifying files is also a way to help try to clear out bugs, but usually I try to restart everything, and then if it's still it, then I'll verify files, and then if I still have a problem, then I'll submit a ticket. That's what I try to do anyway. Sometimes I skip a step. Grim has 170 now and white gear. Yeah, there you go. So it's just a visual bug. You run into more and more bugs in this game. Like the more you play it without restarting your client, and the more like speed potions you use, the more speed effects are going on. Also, if there's lots of debuffs, that can cause there's just lots of triggers for things that are not great. Game is a huge memory hog. For some people, I don't know what makes it so different from you know, system to system, but I don't find it to be a big problem for me. But there are some problem for some people who it just drags their system to a halt over time. I've never had that issue, but you know, it's a memory leak somehow. But there's there's things that trigger memory leaks, and I don't know. Again, I usually restart. Well, right now my gem farm just sits in there and goes, but usually I'm restarting daily at a minimum. And but if you leave it going constantly, I mean, you have to at a minimum shut the client down and restart it regularly. But I also recommend shutting your whatever platform you're playing on down as well when you're doing that. Lurking Rider, why did you just get Moose Roll on the screen? That's interesting. That's an interesting screenshot. Fiber, thank you for the follow. We started about half an hour ago. Now it's at 4.5 gigs. Seen it at 6.9 gigs. Nice. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand that. Let me look at my. Oops, nope, that wasn't the right one. Memory. Idle Dragons. 2 gigs. I'm at 2 gigs. I don't know, just under 2 gigs. Oh yeah, I shut my computer down every night. So again, I know some people don't do that. Some people just put it to sleep. No, full reboot. Full reboot. Hey, Fiber. Tried playing the Epic version on your phone. It's so tiny. Yeah, that's. And no, that's never going to change. But hey, you can try to do it now. Can't open a locked chest when I log into the game and have to start an adventure. Yeah, I think you can't do a cryptex entry unless you're in an adventure. So if you shut everything down and leave yourself at the map screen, then yeah, I don't think it'll. I think it doesn't work from there. Just enter because of sorry guides for newbies. I'm trying to follow and make sense of the game. Yeah, they'll do that. That new player reference is the good one, but we also answer questions over here when people got them, or we try to at least. Been gem farming for a while now. In the last month, the leaks seem worse. The speed potions, like the more speed potions you're using, like again, the more speed effects that are going on, the worse the memory leaks get. Especially if you're running at 10x speed. That's like opening up a dam of problems. It's just opening the floodgates in full, and it's bad. So yeah, it does require some rebooting. Like I went and looked at my gem farm today before the stream started, and it was definitely not getting what it should have been, but yet everything looked perfect. So there was some kind of issue. So I'm gonna have to go in and restart that computer. It's got something that's bogging it down, that's causing it to not go fast. And that's a problem. Yeah, so now we have enough speed that we can do 250 areas with just 1 medium and 3 smalls, which means I'm going to need some more smalls. You're killing me, smalls. All right. Back up to 2,000 gems already. Remember, we get another, there's another feat for Human. 12.5 K gem feat. Gonna make them go faster. We're gonna want that one too. Well, fix it. So the way it is once you start seeing visual errors show up, like graphical glitches, like you were running into, yeah, definitely, it's time to restart. Like, anytime things start to look a little weird, it's probably too many speed potions between restarts, and it's time to restart. Sometimes you get beasts, sometimes you get the moose. Wow, I've never had that happen. Who's in my... Yeah. Well, this is... Well, I don't know. I gotta go see what mine on my main account is, but this isn't really doing anything for us this week. I mean, Ishii, more Ishii buffs, sure. But we're not really doing super deep pushes this week, so. So after excavating history and his towering expectations, that's the last adventure we need to prep for Strahd. That's the one that's called out here. Towering expectations. It's just a regular base adventure. I know it says with no patron, but look, I don't know why they say things that they say sometimes, folks. It's not a variant. You couldn't do it with a patron anyway. We're now one champion away from 40. So Monday, I won't do the natural time gate until Monday on this account. So Monday, next Monday, a week from now, we'll have this, and hopefully by then we'll have 10 medium bounty contracts as well. Hopefully. Right now we have 3. That just means I need to open more gold chests, but the priority right now is getting the speed feats for Human, because that just means we're going to earn gems faster. So start that snowball rolling. I need to keep 20 of these. Did we get one? No. Did we get one? Technically. Oh, they can't drop that one anyway. It doesn't matter. I was thinking that's blacksmithing contracts that they can drop. We did get some of those, but I don't care. Don't care. So these 5,500 penance, I think we might be able to, before the event ends, I might be able to get one more chest pack. Briv. I don't really want to burn more bounty contracts. I mean, I could, I guess. We can do that. It's fine. Just keep the blue ones. Yeah. Let's go get a box of something for Briv. Nothing. Okay. Well, we tried. I was, obviously we would love an epic Theor Dinarax in slot 4 here, but it's not like we're chasing his speed effect anyway, so. There a known visual bug regarding a bench seat below Champion's Portion with the type of next upgrade. Turn blue permanently until you restart or verify. There's a new bug in town. And I with blue upgrades, it's been causing issues. And whenever you run into those, don't even worry if it's a known issue. Just report it. Just submit a ticket when it's happening. And then they get a snapshot of like what's going on in your computer, or they're supposed to. And hopefully that'll help them track it down, even if they already know about it. All right, here we go. Towering expectations. 250 again. 250 again. Now this one's going to be a little different, folks. Because the boss on this one is Strahd von Zarovich. And Strahd's a jerk. If you didn't know. So it may be a little harder to defeat him once we get around 250. I don't know. It might be fine. The issue is he heals himself. Like, how dare he? Healing is for champions, not enemies. Come on. But he heals himself, and that's annoying. I don't think we have a champion currently that prevents that. Usually there's champions that have feats that prevent that. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to crowd control the hell out of Strahd Bronzerovich. Yeah. He is armored, and then if he hits you, he heals fully. Fully. Because vampire. Because the vampire of all vampires. Right? Because of course he does. So it's this, it's crowd control combination with, if you can stop healing, that's great. Again, I don't think we have any of that. So we're probably going to end up having to change who's in the formation when we get there. When we run into there. Here, well, that's Irina. What's going to be, this is just hit based. You can tell when you hover over it, it just says 50 HP. She's hit based and not armored. How does Vi's speed work? Maybe a tip for where to find quick info on these things. I mean, in my guide to Vi, I have a guide for every champion in the game. But you can ask; it's fine. So Vi's speed effect, like when an enemy wave spawns, it can have 1, 2, or 3. This is not the Strahd that we're talking about. That one doesn't heal. Area 50. You can have 1, 2, or 3 enemies in it usually, barring other things that cause more enemies to spawn in a wave. And usually it's like one comes out, another one comes out just slightly behind them, and another one comes out slightly behind them. So it's kind of a slow process. And what Vi's speed effect does is it forces, one to come out. So they're coming out simultaneously. And the more you level it up, the more would come out simultaneously. Like on a boss area, 5 of them stream out before the next wave comes out. So you could have all 5 coming out as a wall. That is a speed effect because then you're able to killing them instantly. Then you're progressing faster. And then there's other champions that can pull extra enemies out with waves, and so having her thing be bigger could potentially just have them all come in as a wall. Oh, here we go. Here's a bunch of Strahds. Stop it. More like fraud Bronzerovich. This isn't the one we're worried about just yet. Now this is the one. This is the one, and we're already having a problem. Notice he's got armor and we're not doing anything to him. So Nayeli has something to help with this. She's got her ultimate stun. Ashara has multi-attack. Back up a little. Dragon Bait, hop out. We would pull Ishii out. Who else do we want? Starion technically could chew through stuff. Diana's going to do the knockbacks. Miri's ultimate could help. Okay, let's try this again. It's interesting. This is the area 45 boss, not 50. But it's technically the boss fight. It's weird that they put it at 45 for story reasons. That should have pushed. There we go. Now it's done. Got him. Okay. So we tried to knock him back and then stun him when he's knocked back, and then Ashara was just blasting through his health. So you know, you gotta use who you gotta use sometimes. Whoa, hey, foggy in here. Night, Shevik. Gale does have a chance to miss, yeah. But we got it. You know, we can mess around some more. Do I want to change? Yeah, I want to change back. Andy, go fast, please. Andy, go fast. So our speed potion thing isn't going to work because the boss is causing us more problems. Figures. Not figures. You know what? I'm just going to overkill it. Overkill 8x speed. It would also help if I'd leveled up my click damage. Alright, switching back to Ashara. Getting ready. You can also 420 blaze it with Ashara. You run into issues. There it goes. Alright, back to Shandy. The Diana ult, when the knockback procs, then you Nihili stun, and we're done. With Ashara. It's doing DPS. Super easy. Elminster unlocked. Nice. Time to hate that his minimum area requirement for completion of any variant is 825. All of them. The lowest you can have is 825. Well, you don't try to do the small ones. That's the thing. Is by the time you get to Elminster, you're not. You should hopefully know better than to try to grind out the short runs. And you should be reaching for the long, the really deep runs because you get the most for those. More bang for your buck, and then go from there. I literally have not done much on my main account for Elminster. I just didn't at the time when it came out. It just wasn't worth it for me. Oh! I forgot. Sure. Knockback, stun. Get out of here. I mean, unlocking Elminster's like the base requirement is have 100 champions, and then there's then you have to pay a bunch of currency from other patrons. So uh, he's a late game patron, so all of his stuff is difficult. But it's just a higher area, much higher area goals. And the restrictions are all about, very specific champions. And it's constantly changing, so it would probably be really hard, actually. Probably be really difficult to do Elminster after taking a long break because you just wouldn't have that many champions available. Because he wants champions that have come either released in the game in the last 3 years or who have been reworked in the last 3 years. So if you take a long time period off, then you got nothing, nobody to use. So, but yeah, unlock him. Just do what you got to do to get his time gate piece and his Modron chest every week, and leave him. Oh, oops. Sure. Well, it was one. It seemed like it was one variant in specific that they were talking about. But I don't know. I think there's probably 3 or 4 variants like that in the entire game, and whatever. I mean, just submit tickets if you run into something that you think shouldn't be available for Elminster, and let them make decisions about it. All right, here we go again. Last time. Wow. Okay. Well, fireball. Multiple throds throwing fireball is a bad idea, folks. It's a bad idea. So, so let's change some. Let's change some things. Yeah, give us a miss half the time, Gale. Okay, try this again. No, it didn't work. Got him that time. All right. Woo, took all the ultimates. Human in a different position would have actually been better against Strahd. He could have been giving us double credit on all of our stack removals, and he wasn't. He wasn't. We got removals from peppered with bolts, but that was it. All right. All right. That's it. We have now checked off a green check mark. Two out of 4 green check marks. We need more bounty contracts, but for that we need more gems. I think we're going here. I think next we're gonna skip Waterdeep for now. And see if we actually do. I think we have the damage to do Baldur's Gate and just unlock trials already. Normally I would not skip a campaign at all. Normally I tell people no, do them in order. But I have a ridiculous amount of power at the moment. But it is dinner time. Instead, we are going to go over here and shut this guy down. Well, no, we'll just do it over here. Loading this one. Loading this one. And maybe we do it like this. Maybe we resave it like this. Okay. So this will grab a lot of stuff overnight for me. It should farm her winner takes all stacks. She's got 19 to farm up. That's a weird number, but got 19 to farm up. And she'll grab some patron currency, and that'll be that. Okay, I completed that. We're at 4,500 gems. We want 12,500 for Humon's next feat, so we're going to keep saving. And then we'll probably open some gold chests. Try to get those contracts. Yeah, probably what we're going to do. Probably what we're going to do. Go for trials and then Rhea. I think most likely what would happen is trials and then mini patron grind. And then maybe Rhea after that. Yeah. So. Yeah, the challenge I think we're going to run into with, I'm already thinking about it, with finishing Descent into Avernus is that boss fight at the end. I don't know if we have the attack speed for that. I don't know. There's only one way to find out, though. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, folks. Tomorrow I'll be back with more of this. Yeah. Monday through Thursday. This is what we do. We're not arguing that, Death Java. They said their preferred version of that, and then so go with it. That's how that works. So tomorrow more of this, Wednesday more of this, Thursday more of this, Friday more of Elroy and the Aliens. More of Elroy and the Aliens. And then Saturday, I don't know, I'm doing a tutorial show again. I don't think it's been announced yet. Yeah, probably get announced tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all tomorrow. Night, everybody.